The following is a production of the Westminster College Network.
Proud of our students, proud of our graduates. You're watching the Westminster College Network.
It's homecoming at Westminster College. The Titans hosting the Wolverines. It's Westminster versus Grove City today at Bury Stadium. Westminster comes into this game 4-1 overall, 3-1 in the President's Athletic Conference. Grove City 3-2 on the season, 2-2 overall in the conference. A lot riding on this game. It's a rivalry game. Packed standings in effect tonight. Should be a great game for homecoming here at Bury Stadium. I'm Jack Carson. With me is Coach Scott Renninger, better known as Scooter. And Scooter, as I discussed, a lot riding on this game right now. You have, of course, the local rivalry, the close proximity between Grove City and New Wilmington in effect in this game. And then going back to last year, Grove City beat Westminster, and that's the game that people point to that knocked Westminster out of the conference contention. And then Westminster, they're coming off of a loss last week against Case, so a lot going on in this game today, Scooter.
Absolutely, Jack, absolutely. It was the game that trashed the Titans season last year. It ended all hopes of getting anything in the NCAA or any piece of the conference championship because of the way things turned around in that. And rivalry game, that's not as important today as it is the win. And I don't like to use pressure like that perhaps, but it's the win that matters. How do you win, Jack? You eliminate errors and force the opponent to make errors.
Westminster is fully focused today on Grove City, but they are looking to bounce back after their loss last week against Case Western. We'll take a look back at some of the highlights from that game.
Last week was a battle of two unbeaten teams in Cleveland. The 4-0 Titans traveled to Case Western Reserve to take on the 3-0 Spartans. Case Western gets the ball first, and they're hot out of the gate. Drew Saxon hits Brett Carney for a 27-yard first down, and from there, the Spartans keep rolling. Saxon screens it to Zach Hall and gets the Spartans to the 3-yard line. From there, Hall muscles it through the line, and Case Western strikes first in the game. The Spartans lead 7-0 in the first quarter. The Titans try all kinds of new things in the first half. Frank Antuano gets his first carry as a Titan out of the Wildcat and gets nowhere. Later, the Titans fake a punt on their first drive of the second quarter. Connor Cox unleashes a deep ball for Dwayne Brown, but the Spartan secondary is too much. Oh, what could have been. Eventually, the Titans get a chance at a 32-yard field goal, and for the first time in his career, Tanner Dudek misses the kick. Westminster still trails by 7. Through one half, the Titans are still scoreless after fumbling twice, punting twice, a turnover on downs, and a missed field goal. In Act 2, Case has another hot start. It's a 47-yard completion for sophomore quarterback Drew Saxton. This sets up the Spartans on Westminster's 24. On defense, however, the Titans respond. On the very next play, the fumble bug bites Case, and Westminster takes over. They get another chance on offense. Later, on 3rd and 11, the Titan offense finally finds its footing. Kanichka sends a lob to Connor Cox, and he takes it 42 yards to tie the game. And hey, when in Cleveland, hit a LeBron James powder toss. This was just the beginning for Connor Cox. On Westminster's very next offensive drive, it's a familiar sight this time. Cox pulls it in on the run for a 70-yard score, giving the Titans the lead. Connor Cox sets a career high with 172 receiving yards, and despite the dazzling score, the point after attempt is no good. Westminster leads 13-7 going into the fourth quarter. In the final frame, the air show continues, but this time it's Case Western firing through the air. Saxton to Morgan for a 31-yard TD. The extra point is good, and Case leads by 1. Saxton threw for 301 yards against Westminster for his 7th career 300-yard game. From this point on, the Titan offense struggles. Kanishka looks for Antoine Jones, but finds Travis Johnston instead. Case gets the pick and drives all the way to the goal line. On 4th and goal, the Spartans have a chance to extend their lead, but the Titan defense steps up. Still down 1 point, this gives Westminster a chance to reclaim the lead. Unfortunately, the Kanichka 4th down pass falls incomplete, resulting in a Titan turnover on downs. With excellent field position, Donald Day marches in for the Spartan score. 2 undefeated teams entered this contest, only 1 left. Case Western improves to 4-0 in 2019, and Westminster falls to 4-1.
did not play well enough to win. We didn't deserve to win. We didn't.
I really think the difference was in the second half, our best players stepped up and made plays when they had to. I really do think that's the difference. And that our pass rush is special. I do think that. I don't think we're going to see a better pass rush than our guys. I think that was the two big things. Kids stepping up on offense and a pass rush on defense.
The Titans look to bounce back as they play Grove City in the homecoming game this Saturday at 1 p.m.
Westminster made a lot of mistakes in that game. 4 fumbles, 2 of those were recovered by the Spartans for Case Western. That made a big difference. Quarterback Cole Konichka was sacked 6 times in that game. You can point to a lot of different areas where things went wrong for the Titans last week, and they ended up with the loss, their first loss of the season. But this, for the Titans, is an opportunity to get back in the winning column and really set the tone for the rest of the season.
Jack, we study history. We live current events. Long trip, long ride back from Cleveland last Saturday night. Long day Sunday. Forget it. Move on. It was a wonderful week of weather this week. They had a lot of opportunity to improve, and we're going to see if we can reap the fruits of our labor today.
A lot going on today in the pack as well. Not just this game between Westminster and Grove City. Like you said, Westminster looking forward, not looking back, but other teams in the conference have a lot of action as well. Hannah Erdman has a look at what's going on today in the pack.
Thanks, guys, and happy homecoming, Titans. Today in the PAC marks week 6 in the football season, and we have a lot of great matchups ahead. Another homecoming game is on slate when Case Western Reserve hosts Washington and Jefferson. Both teams are at the top of the PAC, with Case the only unbeaten team in the conference. Kickoff is set for 1:30 p.m. On the other end of the standings, Teal and St. Vincent are both looking to snag their first wins this season. The Tomcats will host the game with a 3 p.m. kickoff. Then at 4, 3-2 Geneva will travel to West Virginia to play 1-4 Bethany. Finally, Carnegie Mellon will host the lone night game against Waynesburg with a kickoff set for 7 p.m. That is a wrap on today's PAC football update. For more information on today's matchups, make sure you go visit the PAC Athletics website.
Like Hannah was talking about, lots going on today in PAC football. Some interesting games going on while this one will be going on. A 1 o'clock game elsewhere and a 3 o'clock game as well. And looking at Grove City, too, in past years before 2018, Grove City was a team that really struggled in this conference, several winless seasons, and then really just disappointing for many years, but really are on the up and up now under head coach Andrew DiDonato. This year they beat Carnegie Mellon. Carnegie Mellon beat W&J. Case Western is still the only undefeated team in the PAC. It's looking to be a lot more competitive of a conference than last year.
Well, it's interesting. Hannah's report was very, very good with the games going on. However, Jack, as a coach, their eyes are one place only, and that's on Bury Stadium on Titan turf. As I said earlier, long ride home, long Sunday. Now it's time to play Titan football. In 1953, a man by the name of Harold Bury had a dream that Westminster football could be special. And from that day on, Westminster football has been special. Coach Bury's dream is living as we speak. And I told the team yesterday when I had an opportunity to talk with them, somewhere up there, there's going to be a pair of eyes intensely focused on Titan turf today.
Westminster football, very special. Today's game is going to be very special. It's the homecoming game. Both teams now in the locker room getting set. It's the Titans taking on the Grove City Wolverines here at Bury Stadium. We'll be right back on your home of the Titans, WCN.
This program is brought to you by Gilliland's Market in New Wilmington, providing a variety of groceries and homemade meats. Gilliland's is open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, and Saturday, 8 to 4. Gilliland's Market is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network.
This program is brought to you by Bill's Sandwich Shop. Hot sandwiches, platters, and more at 2425 Wilmington Road. You can find the full menu online at billssandwichshop.com. Bill's is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Here at Bury Stadium, teams awaiting their entrance to the field. The band ready to tunnel out the Titans here onto Memorial Field. The 4-1 Titans getting set to take on the 3-2 Grove City College Wolverines. I'm Jack Carson. With me is Scott Renninger, Scooter, as we always call him. And, Coach, a great day today as far as weather. You know, we were worried about the rain being a concern today. It rained a little bit this morning, but things cleared up for the homecoming hotspot just over across the way. And now a clear day right now, just about 50 degrees, partly cloudy for today's kickoff.
And also, looking at the flag down on the Britton Lake, there's not a lot of breeze right now, Jack, so it'll be interesting to see who wins the toss. Do you defer, or do we take the football? You know, the standard anymore has been kind of to defer, so you have the choice of the second half, but yet, ironically, Bethany took the football.
On the sideline, we have our reporter, Maddie Keenan, with information on head coach of the Wolverines, Andrew DiDonato. Maddie.
Thanks. So I was able to DiDonato about some of the keys to having a successful game today. And one of the keys that he said is he wants to have a disciplined game. He always wants to be in position to take on Westminster's defense. And he says he just wants to have a game. Jack?
Thanks, Maddie. Coach DiDonato has done such a fantastic job turning around this Grove City football program. Just in his 4 years as the head coach, he's really turned it into a winning program overall. So far, 3-2 on the season, looking to be the same here in 2019. We'll see how far they go throughout the rest of the season. Coach Benzel for the Titans, you know, as we said, coming off of that loss last week to Case Western, I talked to some players throughout the week, and they said that the language in practice has completely changed from last week to this one.
Interesting, very interesting. Not having been out there, but very interesting. But, you know, looking across the field, look at the number of fans Grove City brought, parents and just fans of the, just emphasizes the importance of this game.
I think on offense, just talking a little bit specifically about these two teams for Westminster, one key is going to be Connor Cox, the slot receiver for these Titans. Last game against Case, you saw it in the highlights. He put up a career high 172 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. You know, Connor Cox found the seam which Case left open in that game and was able to exploit it, although Westminster did come up on the losing side. I think if Cole Kanichka, the quarterback, can find Cox in this game, and Cox has that great run-after-catch ability, it's going to put the Titans in a great position on offense, not to mention the Titans' great running game as well.
Well, you were with us down at Bethany. I was able to do the color on that game on radio, and I was very impressed with the play calling of our offense. Instead of Bethany wanted to stop the run. They had a very strong, very veteran defensive front. Okay, fine, you're going to stop the run. We didn't look down the field, though, where we effectively had gone in the first 3 games. We ran a short game. Catch the ball, run. Catch the ball and run. Yards after the catch. Very good ploy, and that. What the game plan today is will be interesting. Grove City's going to play a 3-4 defense. Always 4 guys are going to come, though, and maybe 5. So there will be adequate rush. You mentioned 6 sacks last week. We went into that game with no sacks through 4 games. What happened? I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see. Not that that would have made any difference. No sacks are critical. No hurries are critical. Do we defend Cole, or do we make him run around and lose concentration? He's been rushed in the past and able to concentrate downfield. That's critical, Jack.
Yeah, the offensive line's performance in this game against Grove City for the Titans will be absolutely critical, given the struggles last week against Case Western. Now getting a look at the coin toss. And something else you mentioned right there, Scooter, was the importance of run after catch. We were talking about it in reference to Connor Cox, the wide receiver, but talking about that out of the backfield as well is something that's so important and something that Westminster utilizes quite a bit. They have that 3-headed monster that we always say, we always refer to, at least with Tyler Green, Keanu Bryce, and Bryce Hill out of that Westminster backfield. The number 1 man for them, it seems, this year has been Tyler Green. I think to somewhat of a surprise for you and I. Coming into the season, we didn't anticipate that, but currently he shares a pack lead with 7 touchdowns on the year.
Yes, he has been not unknown, but I have to be very honest with the folks. Jack, I really knew Bryce and our other running back, Tyler has just emerged, and that is so good. You can keep fresh legs in the game. And as we've talked about before, it sets everything up to be able to run the ball. It's not the only thing, but it sets everything up.
And like I said, Tyler Green currently shares the pack lead for touchdowns on the season with 7. He would be the lone leader in that category if it weren't for Grove City running back Wesley Schools. Schools currently leads the pack in rushing touchdowns with 7 and in rushing yards with 646 so far on the season. Schools is the number 1 option for these Wolverines without a doubt. Climbing his way in the ranks. He's the senior running back, of course. The ranks all-time as far as rushing for Grove City, behind only the legendary R.J. Bowers.
He may touch the ball 30 to 40 times today. That is a lot of touches for any player. And so what Grove City would love to do is they would love to make 3-4 yards every play, 3-4 yards every play, and bring up 3rd and short, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, something like that. I think Grove City might have won the toss. They opted to defer to get the choice the second half, so they're going to be kicking off.
Yeah, interesting decision by Grove City to defer. Looks like the return men for Westminster will be Vince Giles and Bryce Hill. Deep Morrow is the kicker for Grove City. An early strike would be huge here for Westminster to start off the game.
Always good, but even more important than that is to control the ball, Jack. They're going to run 6 and 4. A lot of teams have gone to a steady 5 and 5, split the difference, but they're kicking from their right hash towards their bench, our left hash. And the sun just came out too.
Grove City's kick is away from the 35. And we have action on homecoming day. Bryce Hill takes it inside the 10, spinning his way past the 25, and good field position to start this game for Westminster. In the Titans' last 2 games, their opponent scored first. And at least in one of those games last week against the Spartans, that ended up coming back to bite the Titans. So I think scoring first, near imperative here for Westminster.
Well, it's very important to get off. This first snap, and there are going to be a lot of snaps today, Jack, obviously, but this first snap and the result is going to be very interesting. And as you say, it would be just absolutely terrific to get on the board first, but, to execute. We need to execute.
Cole Kanichka, the starting quarterback for the Titans. He hands the ball off to Bryce Hill, and Hill gets up for a very short gain, brings up 2nd down.
Boy, number 1 there. Number 1, the free safety maybe. He got up in there right now. The free safety, Patrick Mark. Looked like we might have had a little bit of room, and he got up to really thwart the play. 2nd and 9.
Nothing doing on the first play. We'll see what Westminster does on play number 2. Sling out right from Kanichka. Intercepted, it looks like. And Grove City takes over.
We have officials coming in here.
Jacob Ross on the what currently stands as an interception, and it looks like it will. Grove City, quick, the second play of the game, picks off Cole Kanichka. They'll take over well into Westminster territory.
Intercepted pass. 31-yard line. Going in.
You saw Dwayne Brown there just on that comeback route. He just wasn't in the right position, and Ross was able to cut him off beautifully. We'll see if Grove City can capitalize on offense. That's exactly what the Wolverines wanted early in this game.
Now, you're going to see that huge Grove City line. 4 seniors, 3 of which are over 300 pounds. It's going to be, we're going to have to try to create some type of rush.
Josh East is the quarterback for Grove City.
There's the first give.
Hands it off to Wesley Schools. And on Schools' first carry of the game, it's taken down after a pickup of, looks like 3 yards, 2nd and 7 for Grove City. And the thing is, that's a short run there, but you mentioned earlier, 30 to 40 runs potentially in this game. We've seen it before from Schools. He's going to tack up that yardage pretty quickly.
Change of play. They're using number 41 as a slot back, but he's the lead blocker. He's actually the fullback, and he's the lead blocker. There he's in motion.
On 2nd down, Schools with it again. He breaks through the line, and Aaron Pierce takes him down with the help of Kevin Brown that time. And that will move the chains. First down for the Wolverines.
Kind of a counter, Jack. He started right and then came back to the left guard, left 3 gap. First and 10 from almost the 20-yard line.
Now it looks like a change of play. Josh East hasn't thrown a pass in this game. He had 216 yards, 11 for 31 in Grove City's last game against Carnegie Mellon. Another handoff to Wesley Schools, and he stays on his feet. Schools, end zone, touchdown. Wolverines on the board first. Things turning around quickly there. Grove City with the early advantage in this game. You know, they kicked the ball away. Westminster on the Titans' second play of the game threw an interception picked off by Ross, and it only took that time 4 rushes from Wesley Schools to find Pater, and Grove City here pending the extra point. They're up 7-0.
Yeah, they faked we had a blitz coming. They didn't fake the pass. We had a blitz coming. The extra point looks good. And the
kick is up and good. So with 13:03 left to go in the first quarter, it's a 7-0 Grove City lead over Westminster.
I think that certainly grabbed our attention real quick.
Now each year, this being homecoming, so a lot of alumni here, but each year during homecoming, the Alumni Association at Westminster recognizes Westminster alumni who have made outstanding contributions to their communities, professions, and Westminster with the Alumni Citation Award. This year's class was honored with a dinner on Friday night and included the Honorable Bob Buhner Jr., class of 1975, Leanne Felina Esquire, class of 1989, and Steve Keener, class of 1980. He's the director and president of Little League Baseball and Softball. Matthew Bickert, class of 2011, received the Outstanding Young Alumni Award, and Emma Messett, a current student, received the Rising Titan Award winner for someone who has the potential to become an impactful alumni. Emma Messett will graduate in 2020. You can read more about all of these accomplished award winners at westminster.edu. And back to the action here. Westminster getting set to return the kick after the Grove City score, and we won't get it quite yet. Whistle from the sideline. Change of the clock, it looks like.
Well, I think the football blew off the tee, Jack, and there's a little bit of a brisk blowing from the west going east, and it looks to be pretty due east.
Now the kick away from Grove City. Hill, the returner, once again. His second return of the game, muffed at the 10-yard line. He picks it back up quickly. Passes the 15. He's out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Westminster needs something to go right here on this drive. Look at their really 4 times that Westminster's touched the ball so far on offense. They had the kick return to open the game, which was solid by Bryce Hill. Next pass, a 1-yard rush, and then the second play, an interception. Right there, a muffed kickoff. So Westminster struggling so far to open up this homecoming game. We'll see what they can do on offense. You see Joey Joy lined up to start this game at the wide receiver spot, his first start of the year.
Titans need to show some resiliency here.
Bryce Hill, first play of the drive, and he's sent back. I think he got the line of scrimmage on forward progress. We'll see where the ball is spotted. But Bryce Hill was driven back there about 10 yards before the whistle was blown. Again, the spot of the ball, I think, on forward progress. Actually got a gain of 1 yard that time by Bryce Hill, but good job by that line of defense from Grove City to stifle that Bryce Hill run. Second down, 9 to go from the 21.
Titans have trips to the field.
Konieczka hasn't completed a pass yet. This time he does. Keanu Grice on the screen. Jukes out a man, and he has room now. 25-30. Grice pushed out of bounds. Good pickup that time. Good job by Grice as well to evade that first line of defense.
Our widest receiver there missed the block, but came back and picked up the block that he had missed. And Keanu just took off and was able to make the first bit, turn a nice run, and now the ball is at the 40-yard line. Big play, Jack.
Hill still the man in the backfield with Konieczka, the shotgun quarterback. Here's Grice in motion. High snap and a fake give. Konieczka finds Grice again. Bobble but taken in. And good pickup there. Call it 6, maybe 7 yards there. Second down, but yeah, it's a good chunk of yards that time by the Titans.
Nice play. We sent Keanu in motion, and he got clear almost to the numbers on the far sideline. We looked right, Cole looked right, and then came back left, and Keanu was alone. Nice gain.
Second and three from the 47-yard line. Kanichka hands it off to Grice, his first carry of the game. No gain, 3rd and 3.
Good fill there by number 92. He filled that gap quickly. R.J. Debo, just a freshman.
Now Grice coming off the field. Antoine Jones, the wide receiver, making his way on. Big 3rd down here for the Titans. Again, they trail 7-0, opening up this game with a 2-play drive ending in an interception. Grove City scored on a 4-play drive the next time out. Westminster with a chance to answer. 3rd and 3, Kanichka, incomplete. Intended receiver was Antoine Jones, and it looked like it was tipped.
Yes, it did. And that I thought he might release that ball just a shade sooner, but it did look like it. The defensive lineman got a tip on it, and I think Antoine might have been open, but the ball was tipped away and the trajectory ruined. And now the Titans are going to punt, not with any particular wind.
And the punt's away. It's a pretty good punt that time, bouncing around the 25, and that's where it's down ultimately. Decent field position for Grove City. The Titans can't be very happy with their performance to this point. Some good, salvageable plays the last time out, but on their second series, going to 4th down, forced to punt. They need something tangible here. They haven't really had it.
Well, after the good first down play, then the almost no gain on the 2nd down run set up the throw for the 3rd, and as we said, the ball was tipped. And so now this is going to be an interesting series for the Titans here. See if we can shut down that run.
1st and 10 from the 25. It's a handoff to Schools again. Schools has had every play so far for the Wolverines. Looks like an 8-yard carry, sets up 2nd and 2. Didn't take long for Wesley Schools to get going.
No, it certainly did not. And we're getting kind of moved around up there. Number 65 into the lineup, trying to plug that hole. It was a counter again, bringing the wingback back into lead block, almost like the old pulling guard.
2nd and 2 from the 33. Josh East hands it off to Schools again. And looks like he nearly got the 1st down there. He needed the 35. Line judges walking down the 35. And the chain's moving. So it's a 1st down, Grove City, moving efficiently with just these runs up the gut.
Now I think they took the wingback out of the game and brought in a wide receiver, Jack. They're going to be, no, they did not. I take that back. 41 is still in the ball game. He is the fullback, playing out of a slot back position.
Good performance by the Grove City O-line as well. As you mentioned to me individually before the game, 3 out of the 5 down linemen over 300 pounds. And they get good blocks this time for Wesley Schools. Still has room moving past the 40 and going out of bounds. A 1st down again for Grove City.
Yeah, the left offensive tackle just took our defensive end right out and opened up a huge hole. Another 1st down.
First and 10 now from the 47-yard line. Grove City still in their own territory. Wonder when we'll see the first pass of this game. This isn't, necessarily a ground and pound offense through and through. I mean, you have the talented back of Wesley Schools, but Josh East, he can sling it too. Another handoff to Schools, and he fights forward for a couple, taken down by Kevin Brown.
Our cornerback did a good job of closing that time, Kevin Brown. However, they still were able to pick up about 3 to 4, and this is exactly what Coach DiDonato mentioned to Matty before the game, and what our scouting report said. They'd like to get 3 to 4 yards every play and set up a short third down.
2nd down and 6 from the 49-yard line. Grove City has passed midfield. Don't be surprised to see another Schools rush here. And now back to pass for the first time. It's East looking down the right sideline. Complete as long as he stayed in bounds.
They marked him in.
Cody Gustafson that time on the reception. And a huge pickup there for Grove City.
Fake off the belly.
I mean, they set up that pass with run after run after run. Even I was faked out. I said, don't expect a pass here. What did they do? They passed it. Got a big first down.
Absolutely.
Now it's a 1st and 10 in the red zone. Grove City at the 18-yard line.
That's precisely what their game plan is to make run piece by piece by piece, and then they threw it down the field.
On first down, Schools again. And battles back up to the line. Pickup of 1. 2nd down.
Essentially, that is the first time we have really stopped him, Jack, for virtually no gain. He had his lead back in there, but we closed the gap.
And Scooter, you say piece by piece by piece, something that Coach DiDonato preaches to these guys is brick by brick. It's something that these guys for Grove City buy into, and it's paying off. You see that right here.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think a team that looks for the big play, Jack, looks for the big play is kind of doomed. It's building that block, as their coach said, and there's Schools again.
Wesley Schools, another positive gain. Just those little chunks of yardage have been paying off for Schools. Now a 3rd down. Looks like 4 to go to that first down marker. Ball placed, it appears, on the 12-yard line.
This is exactly what they want to do. 3rd and not very long. 3rd and not very long. They'd rather have it at 2 or 3, but 4 is still relatively short yardage.
Now a change of play. 6:15 left to go in the first quarter. Grove City looking to extend their 7-point lead. Schools on 3rd and 4. Breaks through the line. Schools, end zone. Another score for Grove City. And Wesley Schools, that's his 2nd tally of the game. With the exception of the one pass from East to Gustafson, Schools has had Schools' carry has been every play of the game. And it's working, coming to full fruition.
Oh, they ran a trap that time. They brought the offensive lineman from the right side. I wasn't sure whether it was the right tackle or the right guard. Came, trapped, kicked us out, and boy, he had a huge hole to get through.
Morrow's kick is up. It's good. So a 14-0 lead. Grove City ahead of Westminster. We'll be back with more first quarter action on your home of the Titans, WCN.
This program is brought to you by Gilliland's Market in New Wilmington, providing a variety of groceries and homemade meats. Gilliland's is open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, and Saturday, 8 to 4. Gilliland's Market is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network.
This program is brought to you by Bill's Sandwich Shop. Hot sandwiches, platters, and more at 2425 Wilmington Road. You can find the full menu online at billssandwichshop.com. Bill's is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
This program is brought to you by Pizza Joe's New Wilmington. Specialty pizza, wings, and more on Market Street in New Wilmington. You can place an order at 724-946-2515. Pizza Joe's New Wilmington is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network. This program is brought to you by Ed and Jerry's Auto Service, providing auto care, maintenance, and local towing to New Wilmington, Westminster College, and the surrounding communities since 1964. Ed and Jerry's Auto Service is a proud sponsor of the West.
Return that time, salvaging something, getting up to around the 25-yard line. Last time out for Grove City, it was Schools rush after Schools rush on the ground. One long pass to Cody Gustafson set up Grove City in the red zone, and then from there, Schools just ran it in again. A 14-0 lead for the Wolverines over the Titans.
A lot of game to play yet, but that certainly is one of the way Coach DiDonato and the Wolverines wanted to start.
Titans back on offense, getting things started from the 26. Grice is the man in the backfield. We've seen him. We've seen Bryce Hill so far. Keanu Grice running left and just shoots his way forward for a good pickup, 8 yards that time. Brings up 2nd and 2. That's that acceleration we always talk about from Keanu Grice. He gets the ball in his hands. He's already at full speed. You saw it pay off there, and good blocking by the O-line for the Titans.
And the inside linebacker 15 was right on his tail also. You see him on the line here. It's a 3-4 defense, but they've got 4 up. There's the chase again.
Grice carries again, and first down, stays on his feet, stiff arms a man, but goes out of bounds with him. Great pickup that time for Keanu Grice. Big first down for the Titans. Grice now finding his footing a little bit. He and the Titans struggled on their first 2 drives. An interception on the first one, a punt on the most recent drive. The Titans still scoreless in this game.
Change of play.
Westminster on their own 46. Grice for the 3rd straight time.
He's got
Grice found a hole. 50 and pushed out of bounds. Keanu Grice found the perfect hole at the right time there. Good blocking and, again, just perfect timing. Grice making something out of nothing.
He was coming a little bit wider and saw that and took that quick plant with the outside foot and up the hole he squirted. Titans moving quick now, too. Moving very quick. Plays called.
1st and 10 from the 41, now in Grove City territory. Konieczka's in the pistol, and for the first time we see Tyler Green on the field. Green carries and just shakes his way up for a carry of about 5 yards that time, brings up 2nd down. Green, like we mentioned earlier, currently shares the lead in the PAC with 7 touchdowns on the year. Shares that lead with Grove City's Wesley Schools. Now a man down on the field. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Grove City leading 14-0 over Westminster on WCN.
Matthew.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. And what you say really does matter to me.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me, and they make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for preparing me for what's ahead.
Thanks, Mom, for always being my biggest fan.
Thank you for talking.
Talk. They hear you.
Back at Bury Stadium, it's a 14-point deficit facing the Titans. Grove City leads in this game. We have 3:54 left in the first quarter. A 2nd down, 7 to go for Westminster. Konieczka fires it to Antoine Jones on the right side. Jones extends forward and gets the first down for Westminster. Moving much more efficiently on this drive than in the first 2.
Good hard fake also that time to our running back. Very good fake to him. They bit, and Antoine Jones was wide open.
It's a 1st and 10 now from looks like the 21-yard line. Just on the brink of the red zone here. Tyler Green still the running back out for Westminster. Cox comes in motion. And Green with it. Originally cut to his left, back to his right now. And Green only gets up there for a gain of about 5 yards. But again, a good chance. I said this about Keanu Grice a moment ago, but making something out of nothing. He didn't have anything to his left and cut over for a 5-yard gain to his right.
And made a second cut and picked up 1 more yard as well. Brady Hogue was the injured Titan lineman 2 plays ago. He limped off. He's down here with Sean Toomey right now getting attended to. Tyler still is the running back.
2.5 minutes left in the first. Green gets it again and shakes one tackle nearly, but taken down. And he does get the first down just barely. Brings things to the 10-yard line. And I looked down after that play. I didn't think he quite got the marker. But a good run by Tyler Green sets up the Titans now with a 1st and goal from the 10.
Took his shoe off. They grabbed and he slipped by.
Yeah, it was Parker Kilgore for Grove City who just wrapped him up by the legs, but Green enough wherewithal just to extend his arm forward. High snap. Konieczka hands it off to Tyler Green, swallowed up quickly. Looks like maybe he got a yard on that one. It brings up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, we're inside. We cannot make a first down. They're going to have to either knock it in or take the opportunity for a field goal. Tyler's shoe was off again, loosened that. That puts Keanu Grice back into the backfield.
Konieczka in the shotgun, 2nd and goal from the 8. Looking to the corner of the end zone. Dwayne Brown, the intended receiver, brought in. Dwayne Brown, what a catch that time. From my angle, Scooter, it looked like he dropped that completely. And until I saw the signal from the official in the corner of the end zone, I gave up on that one. Dwayne Brown clearly didn't. Westminster gets on the board for the first time, 14-6 right now. What a catch by Dwayne Brown.
Absolutely tremendous, Jack. A tremendous catch. Concentration. He was covered. And, boy, that was great.
Tanner Dudek out for the extra point. He missed an extra point, I guess, against Case Western, but Connor Cox, the normal holder, wasn't there as he had to retreat to the sideline. This time, Dudek's kick is up. It's good. A 14-7 lead now for Grove City over Westminster. We'll be right back on your home of the Titans, WCN.
This program is brought to you by the Tavern on the Square. The Tavern has been serving old-fashioned cooking since 1931. To make a reservation, you can call 724-946-2020. The Tavern on the Square is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network.
This program is brought to you by Shenango on the Green. Making aging easier is what Shenango on the Green is all about. You can find living and care options at srcare.org. You can also call Shenango on the Green at 724-946-3516.
At Bury Stadium at Westminster College, the Titans get on the board for the first time, but still trail by 7. It's a Grove City 14-7 lead with 1:28 remaining in the first quarter. Westminster getting set to kick it away now. It was a beautiful pass, 8-yard touchdown for Cole Konitschke, hitting Dwayne Brown in that far left corner. And Brown looked like a one-handed grab. Just great focus to pull it in. Gives Westminster the score, and now Grove City their first kick return of the game. It's Cameron Drake on the return, and he's taken down just inside the 30, it appears.
Pretty good coverage on that kick. The kick wasn't particularly deep or high, Jack, and they were setting up a return to their left to the Titan right, and it was a pretty good coverage.
Yeah, Grove City will actually start past the 30 at the 31. It's a first down and 10. The Wolverines have scored on their first 2 drives of the game, both on the strength of Wesley Schools, both rushing scores. They've only passed one time. It was a completion to Cody Gustafson from the quarterback Josh East. We'll see how the Wolverines approach this drive. On first down, it's Schools again. Schools fights up for 3 yards, brings up second down.
He certainly is a very nifty back. Did you kind of see him shift his body that time, almost go through the hole sidewards, and then slides up through? He's definitely a very adept running back.
He has all the attributes you would want out of a back, it appears. He has the speed, he has that shiftiness, that ability to change a play around, and clearly has a lot of strength just barreling up through that Westminster line. East back to pass now, again right sideline, again Gustafson, again completes it, and taken out of bounds near the 25-yard line. That play has been golden so far for Grove City. They've ran it twice, and they've completed it both times.
Just a straight fly route. No in-between moves or anything, just a straight fly route streak. And the ball is perfect, the catch is perfect, and they move from deep in their territory, deep into Titan territory.
First and 10 from the 28-yard line. Just about 20 seconds left now in the first quarter. Fullback in motion. Back to Schools. Running out right, shakes a tackle. Schools gets the first down and goes out of bounds.
We had a shot at him and just couldn't wrap him up. He's that slippery.
Just barely got that first down, but Schools did get it that time for Grove City. Sets things up in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
End of the quarter.
Through one quarter, Grove City leads 14-7, and now in the red zone, a chance to add on even more for Grove City. We'll be right back with the second quarter on your home of the Titans, WCN.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, Let's you and I wait. It's our roads. It's our safety.
Welcome back to Bury Stadium, getting ready for the second quarter of action between the Titans and the visiting Wolverines. It's Westminster versus Grove City, and Grove City currently holds a 14-7 lead in this game.
Grove City's causing a lot of problems with the terrific, I wouldn't say balance, running.
Down on the sideline, Maddie Keenan has a quick update. Maddie.
Thanks, Jack. Yeah, so I was able to listen in on some of the things happening on the sideline, and Westminster's remaining very, very calm. They're very optimistic going into the second quarter. They just need, Coach wants them to play hard and continue to play smart because there is a whole lot of football left to play today. Thanks, Jack.
Maddie, great point there. There's a whole lot of football left to be played. We're just starting off the second quarter so far in this game. Another handoff to Wesley School, switching field now. Great pursuit. That time in the backfield, taken down. I believe that's School's first negative rush of the game.
Yes, the trailing defensive end ran him down. Great pursuit angle and a nice tackle. Got him low on the ankles and was able to bring him down, and I think that's what's going to have to be our resolve.
Now 2nd and 11 from the 18-yard line, so still in the red zone. Grove City a chance to tack on more to their already 7-point lead just starting here the second quarter. East gets a shotgun snap, now looking to pass. Left corner and incomplete. Cameron Drake, the intended receiver. That brings up 3rd and 11.
A little bit over the head. I think he had Drake for a moment, and we got out there and created a little underneath coverage, but I think he was able to sight him, just overthrew him.
Just a slight overthrow that time by Josh East, and now a tough 3rd down. Just in comparison with the beginning of this game, the toughest 3rd down for Grove City, but still manageable.
3rd and 11.
That was the first incomplete pass thrown by Josh East in this contest. Fake handoff to Schools. East again looking for Drake, and Drake pulls it in. Is he in bounds?
Touchdown.
He is. Grove City extends their lead. Now a 20-7 game. Grove City leading Westminster. And if you can't hit it that first time, just go for the same play again. That time, a perfect throw on a dime to Cameron Drake. Josh East gets the passing touchdown. Now out for the extra points. Overall, great drive for Grove City, and they get the first score of the second quarter.
Man, they ran just a little bit of a belly.
The extra point blocked, so things stand at 20-7. 14-15 left to go in the second quarter and in the first half. We'll be right back on WCN.
Don't have to tell us about...
This program is brought to you by Pizza Joe's New Wilmington. Specialty pizza, wings, and more on Market Street in New Wilmington. You can place an order at 724-946-2515. Pizza Joe's New Wilmington is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network. This program is brought to you by Ed and Jerry's Auto Service, providing auto care, maintenance, and local towing to New Wilmington, Westminster College, and the surrounding communities since 1964. Ed and Jerry's Auto Service is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network.
It's a 20-7 lead for Grove City over Westminster here. It's homecoming day at Bury Stadium. Last time out for Grove City was a touchdown pass complete from East to Cameron Drake, but the extra point blocked by the Westminster defense. So 20-7 is where things stand. 14-15 remaining in the first half.
Grove City's showing tremendous poise and a tremendous amount of ability in staying with their plan.
Brake gets the punt away, or the kick rather, fielded by Bryce Hill at the 10-yard line, up past the 25, and tripped up past the 30. So good return by Bryce Hill. Sets up the Titans pretty well. And a lot going on now for homecoming weekend today, Scooter, and a lot going on campus, including the Hoyt expansion project. Westminster College broke ground recently for the $11.2 million expansion to the Hoyt Science Center, expected to be complete in 2021. It's a 27,000 square foot addition. This will be phase 3 of the overall $20 million Hoyt renovation and expansion project, which is going to provide lots of new opportunities for our Westminster STEM majors. Check out more info at westminster.edu. Bryce Hill gets the first carry of Westminster's offensive drive, and looks like about a 2-yard gain, bringing up a second down.
Yes, and that's just a 2-yard gain. We'd prefer to get about 3 or 4.
You see Hoyt there And you see the cranes working very early on in this construction process. Things not looking as glamorous as they will, but it's great to see that, when they broke ground just a couple weeks ago, they really, broke ground and started working away. A great sight there, and in a couple years here, it'll be an even greater sight. The Titans facing a 2nd and 8. Konechka looking for Brown on the sideline. Feet looked like they were down, and a good completion. That time, Dwayne Brown has been so solid in this game. First down.
No.
3rd down, excuse me. Not quite the first down. 3rd and short.
Oh, they're moving him now.
We might as well just stay quiet, Scooter. They do move the chains. It's at the 41-yard line. Westminster in their own territory after the pass completion from Cole Konechka.
I was following the linesman over there, and he was at the spot and that, not moving anybody, and all of a sudden he waved them, and that's good. That was a nice route, nice ball.
The Titans trail by 13. Cox in motion, and now under center is Cole Konechka. Play action pass, pressured. Konechka rolling right now, evades the pressure in the pocket, keeps it himself, and first down. Konechka getting things done on his own. Improvisation there. That was absolutely not the design play. Two members of that Grove City line just broke through the Westminster blocks, and Konechka was able to split them and get a good pickup.
Very nice job by Cole escaping that rush. They came from the outside, and he stepped underneath. And as we said, several times in the past ball games, he is not seeing the rush. He is concentrating downfield, but he was able to pull that ball and turn what could have been a sack and certainly an incomplete pass into a first down.
Now 1st and 10 from the 43. High snap. Another handoff to Bryce Hill. And Hill speeds up nearly that first down marker. He's 2 yards short. Brings up a second. Looks like maybe just 1 or 2. 2 yards to go, and good run by Bryce Hill. He's been relatively quiet this season in comparison with his junior year in 2018. But a good run there.
Well, he's gotten shaken up in a couple of our ball games too, Jack. He was kind of knocked to the ground pretty hard down at Bethany 2 games ago, and earlier in one of our games up here, he took a pretty good wallop.
Bryce Hill again, and this time wrestled down to the turf.
From the backside.
It looked like he got close to that first down marker, and I think he did get it. So a 2-yard pickup gives the Titans a first down.
We got another player down, though, and that is Bryce, I believe.
Back up to his feet, though, pretty quickly. He'll kind of hobble off to the sideline.
A little gimpy.
Good to see him back up on his feet, though. And Scooter, you reference him being banged up in these games, and almost on cue, Bryce Hill coming off to the sideline. Just over 11 minutes in the first half, and Westminster is still trailing by 13. It was a Dwayne Brown touchdown reception on the Titans' last drive. Tyler Green carrying it now. And taken down. Good 5-yard pickup that time for Tyler Green.
Very nice play. We were very heavy. We had trips to the field and came back with a handoff to the short side. Very nice setup and play and a good pickup. These are what we need to do to just stay right here and keep moving the ball. That's 4.5, 5 yards, and we're kind of mimicking Grove City's plan.
Green and Grice in the backfield, but Grice motions over to the right side. 2nd and 6. Konechka rolling right to pass. And he finds his man complete. Looks like Connor Cox.
Oh, there's a flag.
Flag down looks like after the play, but as it stands, it's a great pickup for Westminster. We'll see what the official call is.
I saw the official push our number 79, Jake Rocco, away a little bit. Not sure. Personal foul against Grove City.
So what was already a great play that time for the Titans, a little comeback route for Connor Cox.
Half the distance. That's going to put the ball, I believe, at the 7, Jack. Quick 2-player substitution for Grove City. They've been running those 2 in and out.
Now just one receiver split out to the right. It's Dwayne Brown. High snap. Tyler Green on the carry. and spinning his way up for a short gain, but a gain no less.
A gain no less is correct. He made a couple of spin moves in there and went from the 7 to about the 4.5. He made those yards on his own. The high snaps again, though, you've called that maybe 3, maybe 4 times.
It's been a problem, and some of those fumbles last week for Westminster came from those snaps. And Tyler Green with it again, shuffling his way forward. It looks like he got maybe to the 1-yard line that time. Couldn't break the plane. Brings up a 3rd and goal. They'll call it the 2. Interesting, we haven't seen the Wildcat yet for Westminster, but we may be right here. We saw Frank Antuano coming out of the Wildcat last week against Case Western, but it looks like Tyler Green will be the carrier this time. Green's been very successful in this position so far. Green on 3rd down. Superman dives in.
Got in.
Touchdown for the Titans. Tyler Green there just jumped on the backs of his offensive linemen. They carried him in for the score. And things now back to a 7-point game. It'll be 6 points with a good point after attempt.
That was a nice run. Tyler went airborne. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. The Grove City line was ready for that, and he was just able to get in regardless of their position.
You know, Scooter, you and I are always rattling off the attributes of our fine Westminster running backs. Tyler Green, we talk about his strength with his speed, his ability to move laterally as well. We never talk about his vertical leap ability. We saw it on display that time, and it paid off for the Titans. A good extra point makes it a 20-14 lead for Grove City. We'll be right back on WCN.
And that's...
This program is brought to you by the Tavern on the Square. The Tavern has been serving old-fashioned cooking since 1931. To make a reservation, you can call 724-946-2020. The Tavern on the Square is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network.
This program is brought to you by Shenango on the Green. Making aging easier is what Shenango on the Green is all about. You can find living and care options at srcare.org. You can also call Shenango on the Green at 724-946-3516.
Westminster getting one back. It's a 20-14 Grove City lead here at Bury Stadium. Last time Tyler Green scoring out of the Wildcat just leapt over his offensive line to break the plane. And that missed extra point earlier from Grove City might come back to bite them. It's just a 6-point spread. The Wolverines still leading. Here's the kick away from Tanner Dudek. A short kick fielded at the 20-yard line. Now working up to, looks like the 25.
That ball hung for about 3.65 seconds, which gave us time to get down. It was not particularly deep, as you mentioned, Jack, but it did hang up, and we were able to get the area. They had set up a wall to their left. It was an interesting receiving formation that time. They were kind of looking for an onside kick, I believe, the way they were up. It wasn't a hands team by any stretch of the imagination, but they had 5-6 people within about 10 yards of the kick.
Now following the Jacob Ross 5-yard kick return, it's a 1st and 10 from the 25. Fumbled snap. East is just going to keep it himself. Get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain.
I don't know whether he didn't handle the snap clearly or when he was moving the ball to hand it off, whether he bobbled it or something. It was on the ground, and it allowed us to get good pursuit in there.
And it was a good snap. It just looked like mishandled that time by East. Brings up 2nd and 10 for Grove City.
We closed quickly on that, and we had a 1-yard stop one time, but I think that's the first time we've held them to nothing outside of an incomplete pass, which hasn't been the case yet. So,
and a brief officials timeout.
We had an injury. And they allowed our player to get off the field to be checked out.
2nd and 10 now from the 25-yard line. East gets his play. Grove City holding a 6-point lead. It's Wesley Schools. Finds a hole. And up for a good pickup there. Looks like maybe 9 yards. Ball was loose. But was it loose on the contact with the ground is the question.
No. They're going to keep the ball in Grove City possession.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty clear to me that the ball came out on contact with the ground, not before there. So Grove City does retain possession. It's a 9-yard pickup for Wesley Schools. 3rd and short. Grove City has handled third down well to this point. Now moving under center. East, the quarterback, hands it off to Wesley Schools. He gets the first down.
Had a lead blocker. That was kind of an I formation, Jack, and that power play. Lead at 3.
Ball spotted now at the 34-yard line. This game was off to an ugly start for Westminster, but they have since, crawled back, and it's been competitive in the second quarter. We have 7:10 left to go before halftime. Schools again.
Bounces it outside, breaks tackles.
And Schools running down the sideline, finally pushed out of bounds near the 45-yard line, and he just broke free that time. I think Schools almost every time makes that first man miss, and that allows him to do things like that.
Exactly. Very good observation, Jack. He is an extremely fine running back, and we are missing tackles.
And Zach Trusky, the running back in right now for Grove City. Taking a look at some of the other scores in the pack, Case Western leading W&J right now 7-0. The St. Vincent Teal game doesn't get started until 3 p.m. today. On 1st and 10, it's a run that time for Trusky again, and he gets up for a gain of looks like 4 yards. So Wesley Schools not the back in right now for Grove City.
Giving him a quick break there. 28 remains the running back. Zach Trusky.
2nd and 6, 5:50 left in the half. And Trusky's been doing well on this drive. I think I miscredited Wesley Schools with that good pickup just moments ago. I believe it was Trusky on the carry.
Option.
And the option goes to Trusky on the left side. Stiff arm and dives forward for the first down. Did he get it? Hard to see. It's far side of the field.
Yes, they're moving them, I believe.
So it is a first down. Good job that time. Trusky was being pushed out of bounds, but just extended and picked up the first.
And the lead blocker got on our linebacker and was able to neutralize him totally to allow Trusky to get outside.
1st and 10 now from the 37-yard line. Grove City is in Titan territory.
And Wesley Schools is back into the ball game. A few very good carries by Trusky.
I mean, when Wesley Schools gets that many carries in a game, you need to rest those legs every once in a while. Now a pass out right, completed and taken down past the 35 rather. Good
about
completion that time.
6 to 7 yard gain from where the stick is. I think it's about 6 yard gain. Looks like 2nd and 4.
Brandon Caffrey, the receiver that time. Now Caffrey runs off the field.
Ball on Westminster's 31-yard line.
Looks like a change of play. Second down and 4 from the 31. Grove City holding a 6-point lead, and Wesley Schools with it again. Taken down, but before that, he gets the first down. So
he is
Bryce Thomas there, the DB for Westminster, playing in the box. He got the tackle, but not before Wesley Schools could move those chains.
And those big offensive linemen right now are controlling the Westminster front four. Just controlling them.
1st and 10 from the 24 now.
Nobody has used a timeout yet. 3:50 to play. Both teams have 3 timeouts.
Grove City's last drive ended with a touchdown pass from East to Cameron Drake. And here's a carry for Wesley Schools.
Just keep powering it forward. Some counters, some leads, and some just straight ahead dive plays.
I mean, Scooter, if you can get a pickup of 4 yards on nearly every play, why wouldn't you?
Absolutely, and that's precisely what they're doing. That was what our scouting report coming in was. That was their forte, and they are executing it to perfection right now. Look at the double backs up in there now, 46 and 40. I can't see the other number, 41, as blockers.
Second down and 6.
It's almost like the old I formation, only they're up right in behind the 3 gap and the 4 gap.
And Schools again gets it. And fumble, the ball is loose. Bryce Thomas picks it up, and he's running with it. Bryce Thomas stays on his feet. Thomas, 40. Crosses midfield, finally taken down. What a pickup that time by Bryce Thomas. The ball came loose, and initially, personally from up here, I questioned the call by him not to just dive on it. He picked it up and ran. That's risky, but it paid off that time for Thomas and the Titans. They'll take over in Grove City territory.
Our smaller people have, they tend to have probably played single platoon football, 2 positions offensively and defensively in high school, and have very good hands and have certainly the nimbleness to bend down in that. And I agree with you, just possess the ball. That would have been huge, but to get it back up, we're in their territory at 42-yard line.
He nearly broke it for 6. Now 6 is the goal for the Westminster offense. Bryce Hill gets it on the carry. A 2-yard pickup brings up second down.
Penetration. Their number 34 was into our backfield. Luke Salerno, 6 foot, 195-pound senior. Certainly a leader out there, but he got into the backfield and I think changed our course of running, which we had set up with the blocking pattern. And in other words, he kind of destroyed the play, Jack, and we picked up 2 instead of maybe getting 4 or 5 or more.
Westminster scored on their last drive. Cole Konieczka with plenty of time. He'll keep it himself and jukes his way forward for a first down. Cole Konieczka, mainly a pocket passer. That's what we've seen from him in his career. He's just a sophomore year, but in this game, he's been able to make some men miss. Credit the offensive line with a lot of that, but great running ability so far from Konieczka.
He had wonderful protection, Jack. There was a pocket. He stepped up, and then that pocket opened up. They were back on our receivers, and he took off. And did you see the little pump fake that kind of held the defender a little bit, and he picked up another 4 or 5 with that? I just maybe think I wish that he'd go down and slide.
Now 1st and 10 from the 28, and pass incomplete to the left side. Dwayne Brown, the intended receiver. That brings up 2nd and 10. And yeah, you mentioned that pump fake. Cole Konieczka, just a sophomore. He played in 4 games in his freshman year and has started every game this year. He has such a high football IQ, and that was on full display.
Yes, it was. Although that ball looked like it was a little low, and Dwayne, who made a phenomenal catch on that touchdown down in the end zone, was not able in the first quarter, our first touchdown. 2nd and 10.
The Titans from the 28. Konieczka, quick pass over the middle. Connor Cox completes it, and he's drilled down to the ground. Brings up a 3rd down, 4 to go.
Now the defensive back was right on him and held him to just the catch, no yards after catch. But still, that's a 6-yard gain. 3rd and 4 is better than 3rd and 10 by a long shot.
Clock winding down here in the first half, 1:10 before we hit halftime, and the Titans are taking their time. They have full control here of the rest of this game if they can get the first down.
And perhaps when Matty gets with Coach Benzel at halftime, ask him about the run. Blitz.
Konieczka looking to pass. He's pressured. Picked off. Grove City running the other way and taken down there. Curtis Fryermuth on the pick that time for Grove City. We've seen 3 turnovers in this game, 2 of them coming from the Titans and negatively affecting the Titans. So Grove City will take over.
I think he absolutely did not see the receiver, or the defender rather.
As always, it's our pleasure to bring you these games on WCN. We also bring them to you on Titan Radio, and both Titan Radio and WCN have received recent national finalist awards from the College Broadcasters Incorporated, that's the CBI. 2 Westminster productions earned this honor. So congrats to all of our Titan broadcasters on their hard work. You always make us WC proud. We'll find out the winners of those competitions later on this month.
And Gustafson is wide. Fake.
East looking to throw downfield. Gustafson again. taken in. Gustafson, room to run. Kevin Brown takes him down just before getting into the end zone. And honestly, Scooter, that might be the best case scenario for Grove City. Clock should be winding down now, I would think.
Well, it's going to stop on the first down until the sticks get down there and that. The referee's holding, waiting to wind it.
And
they've
here
got
it goes
3
now.
timeouts left, though, so
30
it's
seconds.
really irrelevant.
Grove City not using a timeout. You know, maybe they want to run that clock and not
they'd
give
love
Westminster a chance.
They'd love to.
Because with the automatic Wesley Schools in the backfield, you can do a lot of different things. And whistle blown now.
Timeout.
A timeout Westminster to stop the clock. Maybe surprised that didn't come up earlier, but Westminster ultimately does stop the clock with 21 seconds left to go. It's a 20-14 lead for Grove City. Another talking about alumni today. That's kind of been the theme, and people that contribute to the Westminster community. You have to include someone like Dr. Clarence Harms. Dr. Harms has been building bonds with current students, alumni, families, and community members through his long career teaching biology and his work at the Environmental Center at the field station at Westminster for 50 years. There's going to be a special open house reception in Dr. Harms' honor this Sunday from 9 to 11 a.m. at the Westminster College Nature Center at the field station. That's on Fayette, New Wilmington Road. So please join us in celebrating all that Dr. Harms has done on behalf of Westminster and our world. It's always a pleasure to head out there to the field station and enjoy the hard work from Dr. Harms and others.
Yes, Clarence certainly has been a part of the Westminster community for 5 decades.
20-14 is the Grove City lead.
Backs, quarterbacks under the center, flopping a lineman.
A chance to score before the half. Wesley Schools does it.
In.
So what a turn of events.
Oh, my.
Rewind, Scooter, to Westminster, a chance to tie the game and to take the lead before halftime. They throw an interception
Unbelievable.
To Grove City. Curtis Fryermuth, the freshman inside linebacker, gets the pick. First play on offense for Grove City. Fire down the field for Gustafson of Grove City. Cody Gustafson sets up Grove City inside the 5-yard line. They punch it in. The extra point is good. And so now the Wolverines hold a 27-14 lead over the Titans. Still 18 seconds to go before the half. We'll be right back on WCN.
We purchased the land about 3 years ago, and there was an old farmstead on there with trees. We were going to clear the land so we could farm through it. We thought we knew where the pipe was and it wouldn't be a problem, so we didn't call to get it located. The work on our property led to the damage of a light crude pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse. Calling 811 and clicking before you dig are free services. It only takes minutes and can save your life.
At Bury Stadium, it's a beautiful day for homecoming here at Westminster College, but the Titans are trailing right now. We have just 18 seconds left before halftime, and it's a 27-14 lead for Grove City. A Grove City win here at Bury Stadium on homecoming day would be bitter for Westminster fans, especially given the loss last year to Grove City, which knocked Westminster out of contention for a PAC championship. And Westminster essentially needs to win out, barring some other PAC action, to have a chance in the conference. The kick fielded by Chase Collison. He brings it back up to the 40-yard line. Now 15 seconds left on this final drive, potentially of the first half for Westminster. We'll see how they approach it.
Did you see the change of Grove City's strategy there, too? They changed kickers, and this kicker, the second kicker, just put it high with some wind under it or some air, and our short people, rather than our speedsters, had to return it. Now, it'll be interesting to see if we come out and try to launch something. We still have 2 timeouts, so with 15 seconds, I'm not quite sure what the strategies will be.
Kanichka has Grice in the backfield, twins out to either side from the 40-yard line. Kanichka fires over the middle. Antoine Jones complete, and he's taken down. Couldn't get out of bounds. The Titans will have to take a timeout here.
Yeah, they will get that right away. Of course, the clock would have stopped on the first down, but that puts us 7 seconds. We had 15. That play took 8 seconds.
During
we're
the
not quite in field goal range. I don't think the ball is at the 33-yard line, 32-yard line. Add 7. That'd be a 49-yard attempt, Jack. And the wind is blowing across the field, not up and down the field, north to south. I think we need a quick pass and a quick timeout. A completion, obviously, in that.
Yeah, the offense
this far
staying out there.
Look how far the defenders are. They've got 4 deep out there now. Their umbrella's 4 deep.
From the 32, the Titans, perhaps their last play of the half. Connor Cox goes down, and the Titans will get one more. So a quick timeout after a quick strike over the middle. Far more manageable now for the Titans.
Oh, yes.
And approaching field goal range. It doesn't look like that's what they'll do. Last week, the kicker Tanner Dudek missed his first field goal of his career. It was a 32-yarder at Case Western.
We are going to attempt it, I believe. I don't. The way their umbrella was deep back there, they were about 12 or so yards on the corners, back 18 or so on the safeties. I think that nobody back there. There goes one back to return a muffed kick.
It'll be a 33-yard attempt for Tanner Dudek. 2nd down and 4. This is the last play of the half. Dudek's kick is away. Falling quickly, it's just short. It was right on the money. It fell just really right under those uprights at the one post. So a perfectly, on-line kick, just not quite enough mustard, and that brings us to halftime, a 27-14 lead.
We had a bad snap with that again, too. It was high. It wasn't off to the wide or anything, but it was high. And
no good on that field goal, and that hurts for Westminster, too. They'll stick at their 14-point score. It's 27-14, the Grove City lead.
And let's not forget, Grove City gets the football coming out.
Overall, a somewhat frustrating first half for Westminster, especially in the first quarter. Now, Coach Benzel a chance to talk it over with Maddie Keenan on the sideline. Maddie.
Thanks, Jack. So, Coach, did the first half of the game go as you had expected it to?
No, not at all. I mean, they immediately, we're just not playing well, and Grove City's executing. They're throwing the ball deep. They're running the ball. They have everything they want. Our offense is doing well, but at critical times we're turning over. So it's killing us right now.
So what are your thoughts going into the locker room?
Not turn the ball over and try to stop them. I mean, it sounds simple, but, we put ourselves in a really bad spot. So we're going to have to really fight our behinds off here if we have a chance in the second half.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. Jack.
Thanks, Maddie. We'll talk a bit about what Coach Benzel had to say there in just a moment. We'll be right back with our halftime show on WCN.
National Prevention Week is a celebration of all the things that happen all year long.
Prevention is at the core. It's mental health, physical health.
Some of our National Prevention Week activities have been focusing on the illegal drugs, illegal use of opioids.
Drugs, alcohol, mental health, suicide.
brought to you by the Tavern on the Square. Located in the heart of New Wilmington, the Tavern has been serving old-fashioned cooking since 1931. To make a reservation, you can call 724-946-2020. The Tavern on the Square is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you. Freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
This program is brought to you by Ed and Jerry's Auto Service, providing auto care, maintenance, and local towing to New Wilmington, Westminster College, and the surrounding communities since 1964. Ed and Jerry's Auto Service is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Titan Weekly. I'm Maddie Keenan and alongside me is junior cross-country runner Harrison Keenan. Thank you so much for joining us here today. So I would like to talk about your cross-country season so far. So you've only had 4 runners on the team. How do you run cross-country with only 4 members on your team?
So running is as much of a team sport as it is individual sport. We've been focusing a lot on our individual performance, pushing towards our PRs, making our times go down, so when we have our 5th runner, we'll be ready for him, and he'll be ready to jump right in for PAX.
Now, speaking of PAX, PAX is almost a month away, so it's a little under less than a month. So how are you still preparing for PAX when it's so far away?
So, I mean, like today, we still have our long-distance run. We do a lot of like 12-mile runs, 13-mile runs, but then we just kind of train right up to PAX. We get a week where it's called the peak, where we kind of lay off our runs a little bit, and we try to make sure our legs are fresh and we're ready to be at our best and perform at our best ability for PAX.
Now, what are you most looking forward to with PAX?
Just PRing. It's at Westminster, so everybody can come out and cheer us on, and just enjoying the run. I know a lot of people don't like to run, and the guys, instead of racing a 5K, race an 8K, so it's a little under 5 miles. But just the challenge, and it's always a great time anytime I lace up the shoes.
Now, speaking of running, you said that it is difficult. People think it is difficult to run. So how do you go on these 8, 9, 10-mile runs, and it's just, well, running?
So basically what we do is a lot of the guys run in a pack, and we've tried to solve the world's problems, so to speak, but a lot of conversations, we get in our comfort zone, so to speak, which sometimes is between a 7 to 7:30 mile pace, and we just kind of clip them off. We've been running all summer. I know I've been running for years now, so we just get into the zone, we get into the rhythm, and we just don't let anything slow us down.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. That's it for this week's edition of Titan Weekly. I'm Maddie Keenan. This program is brought to you by Bill's Sandwich Shop. Hot sandwiches, platters, and more at 2425 Wilmington Road. You can find the full menu online at billssandwichshop.com. Bill's is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Bill's Sandwich Shop is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network.
Who do I swim for? I swim on my high school team for my mom, who gets up at 5 o'clock every morning to take me to practice.
I swim for hugs from my teammates, spaghetti dinners, and my lucky neon green goggles.
I swim for Coach Murray, who pushes me to dig deep and finish strong.
More than 7.7 million American teenagers participate in high school sports every year, including about 317,000 here in Pennsylvania. They're all learning essential life lessons, like the importance of hard work, time management, and self-discipline. Skills that are helping them become better leaders and more active, responsible citizens.
Most of all, I swim for myself, because I learn more about who I am and who I want to be every time I dive into the pool. That's who I swim for.
This message presented by the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm Jack Carson here with junior offensive lineman for the Westminster Titans, Cameron Micah. Thanks for coming on today, Cam. And, tough game last game, but first we'll talk about the overall season to this point. 4-1 overall. It's been a pretty great year for you in 2019 up to this point. And this is your third year on the team. What's different about this year's Titan squad?
This year, mentality. We're more of a mature group that is playing for each other. My past years, it's been more individualized. People want to do not team things. This year, everybody's playing for each other. We have 3 running backs that rotate. Nobody complains about it. Offensive line, we're just out there doing what we can do. Everybody enjoys passing the ball around. Defense is playing together. It feels like a family this year.
And, I mean, you have such a big role in that, too. As an upperclassman on the offensive line, Coach Benzel chose you earlier for PAC Media Day in the preseason to go down as the representative of the team. What's your leadership role on this team?
Leadership role is, I like to lead by example for the younger players. I mean, we have a large core of younger players now. There's a lot of freshmen coming up that are doing a lot of great things, even for us on the field on Saturdays, even some JV games. There's a lot of kids that are coming up that are going to make this program even better than it is now, and just helping them come along and teach them what we're actually going to do and not let them go and do what they want to do.
That's got to be so important. I mean, you guys, overall looking at it, are a pretty young offensive line core. You have one senior in Brady Hogue, and then you have you as well as a junior, but a lot of sophomores and freshmen coming up too. How confident are you, first of all, in that group, and what kind of steps? You kind of mentioned some there, but I guess how important is it to really hone them in now so, when they're upperclassmen, this team can really be something legit?
Yeah, the biggest thing on offensive line standpoint, at least, we know what we have to do every week, and Brady has helped set that right now. And he's the leader of the offensive line. He takes control of us, and he's just prepping the next person in line and the next person in line, and it's just going to keep going down the line. And soon everybody's going to know what needs to be done, and nobody's going to need to be told.
And, we talk about Brady Hogue, but let's talk about a different Hogue, Coach Dylan Hogue for you guys, the offensive line coach this year. Previous years, he was in the strength and conditioning role primarily. Still does a little bit of that, but this year kind of taking over that line. What's his leadership been like, and how have you been able to work with Coach Hogue?
Yeah, Coach Hogue's awesome. Getting to work with him every day on the field is pretty cool. I mean, I've had 3 different O-line coaches really since I've been here, switching around, and having Coach Hogue, it's a different perspective that I get to see from him, because him playing in this system and doing everything, he's been through everything with us. Like, he's done everything that we've done, and it's good to see, it's nice to see him helping us do what he did back in the day when he was here.
Now, going back to something we mentioned a little bit earlier that you mentioned is the 3 running back situation we have at Westminster. I think is really unique. 3 senior running backs, each with their own unique talents. And I mean, that's your job, is to, create holes for them, protect the quarterback. What's the camaraderie like between the offensive line and the running backs, the O-line and the quarterbacks? What's that like for you guys?
Everybody gets together really well. I mean, and all those running backs have a different running style, which is really unique. When one running back comes in, what you're going to get, when another one comes in. And nothing really changes up front for us, but we know what's going to happen with them, where we need to get the holes. And it's nice to see once they get out in space, all of them can hit it and they can run 80 yards and beat anybody. It doesn't really matter. With Cole, Cole's a good leader by example, too. He, not very talkative, but he helps us. He's very calm always. You always see Cole. He might throw an interception or something, but he comes off the sideline and you say, "You're good, Cole." He's like, "Yeah, I know. I'm good. I'm good." He is always calm and cool and never really seems stressed out, which is nice.
Everybody I've talked to, including yourself, as far as your teammates this year, has pointed that one thing, chemistry, being the difference this year for you guys. I mean, you echo it there. We'll talk about this last week a little bit now. The 21-13 loss to Case Western. You saw the highlights earlier. And a big struggle in that game was up front on the offensive line. We point to struggles on the offensive line, but I think it's important, too, to point to the impressive pass rush from Case Western, All-American going up against you personally. What challenges specifically did Case throw at you in that game?
Some of the challenges is they're probably one of the best defensive lines we'll face all year. I mean, they are very disciplined. They have good technique. They're pretty strong. They come off the ball pretty good. We personally, us as a group, didn't have our best week. We know that. And we know what we have to fix now. Watching the film, we got in and looked at it and made our corrections. And I think we're going to come away better because of it. We saw they exploited our weaknesses, and now we know where we need to focus on this week in practice. And I think in the end, it's really going to help us as a group.
Yeah, I mean, everybody who's watched you this season knows that that's not the true offensive line performance that we saw against Case. I mean, 4 fumbles on offense, 6 sacks, but all season long at this point, we've seen great performances, allowing for great rushing performances as well. Great games from Cole. In that game, too, you look back, going up against specifically an All-American, is that like 100% a different breed of defensive lineman when you go up against someone who is that talented?
Yeah, I mean, he has the accolades to show for it, and it's not a joke. I mean, he's probably one of the best pass rushers in our conference. I mean, I go up against some pretty good pass rushers in practice every day. I know personally there were some things that I could have done better against him, obviously. I mean, he played a good game. There were some things that I messed up on, but it's just another thing to look at and realize, okay, it humbled me a little bit to realize, like, there's still some really good people in this conference that you're not going to win every play. And you just have to go back out there and think about it and do better the next play, and then win the next play and the next play and the next play.
Like you said, some great teams in this conference, one of them being Grove City, a team that has struggled for years, but last year had quite the bounce-back season. Obviously defeated Westminster last year, and that's got to be a chip on the team's shoulder. But you have them coming up this Saturday in the homecoming game. Given the performance last week, offensive line specific, what does change in practice getting ready for Grove City this week?
This week in practice, we've atmosphere down at the stadium whenever it's homecoming, when stands are full, when everybody comes back.
I'm Jack Carson.
And I know up front we'll
to both Brandon Williams for the Homecoming King and Faith Howell for Homecoming Queen. Such a cool ceremony. They've had a great week, lots of activities going on. And tonight in Berlin Lounge, for all the students, there is a homecoming dance, free to enter, of course, for students. Overall, a pretty great homecoming week. The only thing that might make it better is a Westminster win over Grove City today. A special moment for both Brandon Williams and Faith Howell. Winning Homecoming King and Queen, something they'll never forget, and something they'll get to come back for Homecoming next year to crown next year's King and Queen for Homecoming. Taking a look at some of the halftime stats, actually looking back to the game. For Grove City, leading rusher, of course, Wesley Schools. Just through one half, he has 114 rushing yards on 19 carries. For Westminster, it's kind of a split of the load 4 ways. Keanu Grace has 34. Tyler Green has 28. Konichka, the quarterback, has also added 28 on 2 carries. And Bryce Hill, 6 carries for just 16 yards. Westminster looking to get their rushing game going a little bit more. Grove City has absolutely dominated in that regard. And really towards the end of that half, Scooter, it could have been a completely different story. Westminster had a chance to make it a 21-20 game. Instead, they threw an interception. Grove City marched down the field and scored. It's now a 27-14 game, Grove City leading.
Well, Grove City didn't really march down. They one play. And our statistics right here, Jack, Cody Gustafson has absolutely ripped the Westminster corners. He has 3 catches for 143 yards, 74 being the longest. Both teams are back out now, getting a little bit of warm-up.
When you take a look at the stats there on the screen, just the halftime breakdown, not too much disparity between the two teams in really any of those categories. Where it shows up is in the turnover category. Grove City winning 2 turnovers from Westminster. Westminster got 1 on the fumble recovery picked up by Bryce Thomas, but they didn't really capitalize on that. Both times that Grove City has taken the ball away from the Titans, they've capitalized, gotten into the end zone. That's been the difference in the first half.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's, you force turnovers, but what you do with them then obviously is crucial. And as you just mentioned, Jack, Grove City capitalized totally. And one thing, that I've been thinking about since late in the second quarter is Grove City gets the football this second half. Now, a lot of times they say the first drive of the second half is very important. I'm not sure what type of adjustments Grove City would even think about making at halftime. They played almost a flawless first half, and they have 3 defenders, a defensive end, an inside linebacker, and a strong safety they have 8, and 6 tackles. That's 22 tackles between 3 players. That's 22 tackles out of Westminster's, total offense, 33 plays.
Taking a look back at a brief drive summary for the first half. Westminster got the ball first. Grove City won the toss, deferred for Westminster. They got, on the first drive of the game, Cole Konieczka throws an interception on just the second offensive play. That gave it to Grove City. Wesley Schools marched down the field for a touchdown. Every play of that drive, it was just a 4-play drive, got Grove City down the field on the strength of a Wesley Schools carry. So 7-0 at that point. Westminster got the ball back. They were forced to punt in just 2 series. The next drive, Wesley Schools again in for the rushing score, made things 14-0. Westminster would answer back on their third drive of the game. It was an 8-yard touchdown pass from Konieczka to Dwayne Brown. Fantastic catch by him, but while we're at it with the receiving touchdowns, Grove City had a touchdown to Cameron Drake, missed extra point. That made things 20-7. Westminster would answer back again with a 2-yard touchdown run by Tyler Green. That made things 20-14, so Westminster in striking distance. Grove City got the ball, and things are now looking good for Westminster. They recovered a fumble, marched all the way back down into the red zone, and they had a chance, like we were talking about, Scooter, to take the lead 21-20. Instead, Cole Konieczka threw another interception. Grove City, I said marched before, but you're absolutely right, just fired down in one play all the way down the field. Got to the 3-yard line, and from there, Wesley Schools just dove into the end zone. That's where we stand right now, starting the second half, 27-14, Grove City. Not quite dominating, but absolutely in control of this game, and they'll get the ball to start the second half. Taken in by Ross, and he battles past the 20-yard line, taken down by Dalton Anderson and Ian Barr.
Very nice coverage there, Jack. Very nice coverage, and this is, I believe, the deepest we've had Grove City on a kick return.
Grove City will start this drive from the 24-yard line, it appears.
The Grove City line in the first half really kind of controlled the inside or the down 4 for Westminster.
First play, a handoff to Wesley Schools, and just shuffles around the line that time. He got outside his left tackle there and pushed up for a gain of, looks like 4 yards, 2nd and 6 now for Grove City.
And that's been their attack. 4-yard gain, 4-yard gain. This is what DiDonato mentioned before the game to Maddie, and this is what our scouting report revealed. Control the game.
Now East, 2nd down and 6 from the 28-yard line. East looking to pass on 2nd down. Lobs one down the left side, taken in by Drake. Helmet catch, taken down just past the 40-yard line. He trapped that one against his face mask to maintain control. And the official saying it's incomplete. You know, from my angle, Scooter, my initial reaction is he took a couple steps while maintaining control of the ball, but
well, it was on his helmet. You called a helmet catch, and you're correct on that. And I couldn't tell, Jack. I really couldn't follow the play that closely, or what they called. But this field judge down here, the back judge, the deep man, came right in right now and patted the ground, indicating incomplete pass, which brings up a 3rd and 6, which is not what Grove City wants. But boy, once again, the scouting report was throw down the field when they do.
Yeah, like you said, 3rd down, roughly 6 to go. Not ideal for Grove City. East looking to pass again, overthrown. I was going to say nearly picked, but really that overthrew everybody.
Well, and look at Gustafson there. There seemed to be a miscommunication. You see 14 out. He looked immediately on the sideline when the ball went errant, and did not know. There must have been a miscommunication on the reading of the plays being called, and Grove City is calling their plays entirely from the sideline.
Yeah, and you talked about Cody Gustafson just beating Westminster secondary down the field. Simple fly routes downfield, and he was just burning them with his speed. That time, he didn't quite burn them. Kevin Brown and Aaron Pierce were there in coverage. Didn't really matter on the overthrow. Now Grove City is forced to punt. Low snap, but the punt is away. Denny Dennison takes it in, 25-yard line. And now Dennison finds a hole up to the 40. Pushed out of bounds, call it the 47, maybe the 48-yard line for Dennison. Good return that time. Looked like for a minute he was a dead duck, but took a turn to his right and got a good gain.
Yes, and no flags, none of that illegal block in the back, holding that is so prevalent on kick returns. That was a very good defensive stand, albeit the incomplete pass call by trapping the ball. And what they might have said is he might not have had control enough of that ball.
1st down and 10 from Grove City's 47-yard line. Now looking deep, incomplete, intended for Connor Cox. And looks like Cox was just raised up there by Dan Melville, the cornerback. Still couldn't come down with it.
Grove City's number 22 and their coaching staff wanted offensive interference called on Cox. They were all racing down that way after him. Look at their coaches right now talking to the official, talking to the back judge.
So that brings up second and 10. The 48 is the official spot of the ball in Grove City territory. Westminster trailing by 13. Kanichka in the pocket, sacked. Ball loose, and looks like Westminster dove on it. The ball definitely came loose on the sack there. It's not a blindside tackle because, Kanichka was facing the defense that time, but he just didn't see it coming.
Well, it came off the edge. It came off the edge. Our blocking back missed the block. He just couldn't man up with the rusher.
It was Luke Salerno, on the sack, and that sets Westminster way back. 3rd down, it appears to be about 20 to go. Kanichka needs something big. He gets something small, and it's incomplete.
Well, they sat right on that. Look at 15, right on our receiver. He sat right on Keanu Grice.
Fryermuth, the 15, he had that interception earlier, which set up the huge Grove City scoring drive later on to go down the field, take the lead, get the score where it is now. Right there, like you said, staying home, and Fryermuth, just the freshman. This is only his 5th start of his career. So off to a good career so far, at least a good game this time at that inside linebacker spot. John Syback out to punt for Westminster. Fumbled snap. Syback punt blocked. And looks like Grove City dove on it.
Bad snap.
Flags now. So a lot to unpack here, Scooter. A lot going on. We're going to have to wait for the officials' call on a couple things here. One, to see who dove on it. It looked like Grove City got possession pretty definitively, but then 2 flags coming in after the play. Could be a number of things.
Yeah, we could analyze that play, and as you mentioned, several different ways.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Westminster, number 77. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So Grove City does get the ball on the fumble. Low snap. John Syback can't get it away in time. It was blocked, and Grove City dove on it. Then after the play, Brady Hogue, the lineman for Westminster, unsportsmanlike conduct, moves Grove City half the distance to the goal. That's, two great breaks on the same play for the Wolverines.
Well, and two bad offensive sets coming from one from each team. Grove City had nothing, and Westminster had nothing, and we were talking about first plays of the half.
Wesley Scholes on his first play of the drive, gets it up for about 3 yards, brings up second down. Scholes, like we were talking about in the first quarter, had 109 yards overall, and most of the yardage actually came from quarterback Josh East, 167 yards through the air, and he didn't even throw a pass till the second drive. He connected quite often with Cody Gustafson. We'll see what they do here on a 2nd and 7 from the 10-yard line. The field position battle in this game, Grove City has been dominating. Scholes, he pushes his way up for a gain of maybe a yard, gets things to the 9.
I think I see a little bit of adjustment there, what the Titans did at halftime. We're closing down in there, possibly following that fullback, which is acting as a slot back, coming back into the lead block. 3rd and 6, maybe 7, Jack.
Ball on the 9. Grove City, a chance to strike and extend that lead. A score here for the Wolverines would make things very tough on the Titans throughout the remainder of this game, but still definitely a lot of game to be played. 11:32 left in the third quarter.
Grove City lineman almost foot to foot.
East firing for Gustafson, right corner, incomplete, overthrown. Good coverage that time. Kevin Brown had him all the way wrapped up. Looked like maybe some contact, but nothing hard enough to warrant a flag.
Gustafson, the folks watching it, perhaps the cameras watching it out there, pleading. 3 officials were right there, Jack, so they had a better view than what I have from up here. Now the field goal attempt.
Nick Morrow out for the field goal in 2019. He's hit 4 of 7 on field goal attempts, but he's perfect on extra points. This will be a 16-yard field goal attempt. Morrow's kick is away.
Good.
And it looks like it just split that upright. Nearly hit off the right upright, but it is good. So 3 more for Grove City. Makes it a 30-14 game. The Wolverines leading the Titans. We'll be right back on your home of the Titans, WCN.
National Prevention Week is a celebration of all the things that happen all year long.
Prevention is at the core. It's mental health, physical health.
Some of our National Prevention Week activities have been focusing on the illegal drugs, illegal use of opioids.
Drugs, alcohol, mental health, suicide, underage drinking, tobacco use. Prevention is about saving lives.
This is where it happens.
This is Prevention at Work.
Welcome back to Bury Stadium. It's a 30-14 game. Grove City leading Westminster on homecoming day. A touchdown on their last drive for Grove City, or a field goal rather, going for it on 4th down. A 16-yard field goal for Nick Morrow. Tacks on 3 more. That
from their
30-14.
position, though, Jack, that would have to be a somewhat successful defensive stand. Blocked punt, and then half the distance after that.
Well, that's nearly the best case scenario, Scooter, with Grove City taking over so far into Westminster territory. Vince Giles sprinting forward on the kick return, and he's stopped before he can quite reach the 30-yard line. Decent field position for the Titans, but as we were just discussing, nothing close to the field position that Westminster gave Grove City on the last Wolverine drive. Just a fumble on the punt. So Westminster giving the ball to Grove City anyway on the punt, but it was blocked. Then recovered by Grove City, and then while you're at it, just tack on an unsportsmanlike conduct foul on Brady Hogue, half the distance to the goal. Grove City capitalized with a field goal. Titans now starting off the drive at the 29. It's a 1st and 10. Konishka hands the ball off to Bryce Hill. Hill runs to the sideline, picks up a yard or two, but nothing major.
No, he did go out of bounds, so that does not stop the clock. And I think it's important, at least I think, for Westminster not to lose focus here and break away from what we do well, and that's kind of balance.
2nd and 8. Kanichka back to pass.
Offside.
Left side, Antoine Jones completed.
I think we're going to have an offside on Grove City. That defensive lineman broke a little bit, and this linesman over here on the Westminster sideline called it. I don't think we'll take the result of the play. I think we'll take the 5 yards and get the play over.
Penalty. Remains second down.
Yes. Yes, take the 5 yards because we had only picked up about 6 or 6.5. Take that and replay the down. So that will make it a 2nd now and 3, I believe.
Ball spotted at the 31 for the Titans. And yeah, I agree, Scooter, that's a good move to take the down there. It's just 3 yards to the first down. Kanichka nearly got a man to jump there on the snap count. Now play action looking for Joey Joy. Did the ball bounce in there?
No.
They're calling it complete. Looked like I thought he trapped it, but he didn't. Good catch there by Joey Joy, his first of the game in his first start of 2019.
It'll be on the 46 on the Titan 46-yard line. Ball's kind of in the middle of the field. Just 2 wides.
Kanichka's under center now. He'll hand the ball off to Bryce Hill, who is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, we shifted our tight end over, shifted the lead back over, ran the tight end in trying to make a 3-man lead play, and Grove City just absolutely stuffed it, Jack.
Yeah, stuffed it, I think, is the perfect word for that one. It was about 4 Grove City defenders closing in on Bryce Hill. No blocking that time for Hill. Now Keanu Grice, the man in the backfield with the quarterback Kanichka. 2nd down and 10 from the 46. Back to pass. Kanichka over the middle. Dwayne Brown completes, and he has room to run. Dwayne Brown.
Very nice job by Dwayne Brown. He had designs on heading to their sideline, Jack, and realized, boy, he was not going to get there, just turned it upfield and probably got another 5, 7, 8 yards by just going up the field. Take what you can get.
Yeah, that time what he could get was a pretty good pickup after the catch. He got it. 1st and 10 now from the 32-yard line in Grove City territory. Pair of receivers to the left, one man, Dwayne Brown, to the right. Keanu Grice still in the backfield. And Grice carries, shakes off a tackle, but will be taken down after a gain of, call it 6 yards. Good blocking that time from the Westminster O-line just to push that D-line back a little bit, allow for a 6-yard pickup.
A 6-yard gain, exactly. Well spotted, Jack. You can't break the big ones all the time. You can't even break the very good ones all the time. But chip away, chip away. I think that needs to be the attack, what we just mentioned a moment ago. Stay with what we do, and that's move the football effectively.
2nd down and 4 from the 27. Fake handoff to Green. Pressured. Kanichka shakes the tackle. Looking for Cox. Cox brought it down. Foot in bounds, complete. What a catch by Connor Cox on the left sideline. He had to come back for that throw. It was a little bit underthrown, but it was a high one. And he brought it in, got that foot down, 1st down.
Because our blocking backs, his personal protection back there, Kanichka's personal protection, are not able to handle those men coming off of the corners, Jack. That's the 2nd time. The 1 sack was made because of that, and that time Cole did an absolutely marvelous job of getting that football off and a great catch.
Now 1st and goal, Tyler Green trying to truck forward, but he's met before he can quite break the plane.
Boy, Grove City is stacking that line. Of course, they're inside the 10, too. They're inside the 5. And they are really stacking that up in there, and we're not getting the movement necessary. Tyler was looking, searching that time. He wasn't impatient, but just not getting the movement. You mentioned just a moment ago, good surge, good push off the ball. Got to have it consistently.
Cox, the lone man right. Dwayne Brown to the left. It's a rush again by Tyler Green. This time he extends. Did he break the plane?
They're not calling it.
Wait for the call from the official. We still don't have it. From our angle, it looks pretty promising for the Titans, and it appears that they're going to down him at the 1 and well inside the 1. That's probably a fingertip into the goal. And a sneak. The Titans calling for it. The officials, touchdown. Westminster back on the board. It took a couple plays there inside the 5-yard line, but Westminster getting it done. Makes it a 30 to 20 point spread. Grove City still has the lead. But a good drive put together there, capped off with 6 for the Titans.
2-point conversion.
Now, interesting formation. One lineman, it's Joey Joy, the center. We had about, looks like 6, 7 people go over to the left, and Grove City takes a timeout to prepare for this one. I mean, why wouldn't they? To be prepared for that formation. Something you and I actually talked about before the game. That's something that the Farrell Steelers pull out, something we've seen the Sharon Tigers do so far this year. So good timeout there by Grove City. And if you've been with us for a while, you know we had some technical difficulties going on during halftime. Our live feed went out for just a little bit, and we actually missed the halftime performance by the Westminster Marching Band, unfortunately. But, Scooter, you can attest to this. It was a great performance today by the Marching Band, no less in their new uniforms, thanks to the generous donors to the band. They had their old uniforms for a long time. It was definitely time for a replacement, and I think they look very sharp. Again, thanks to the generous donors of the band for those uniforms. Great performance today, as always.
And a wonderful job by Dr. Tad Gregg, the director. He is so good with our bands. He has built that tremendously over 3 or so decades.
Westminster going for 2. Will keep that formation that they were going to before the Grove City timeout. Konechka rolling right now, looking forward. Keanu Grice, incomplete. Grice just made contact in the air that time with Ross, the defensive man for Grove City. Like you said, a high pass. It forced Keanu Grice to go airborne, and when you're up there, you lose body control. That's what happened, but still, just a 10-point lead. Westminster trailing. Grove City will be right back with more on your home of the Titans, WCN.
Driving a truck for 40 years now. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. Like that trucks can't stop quickly. It takes my 80,000-pound truck 200 yards to come to a complete stop. So I always do my best to give a lot of cushion. It helps when other drivers realize that and do the same. Please give trucks the space we need so we can all stay safe. It's our roads. It's our safety.
Welcome back to Bury Stadium. Westminster finding the end zone on their last drive on just a quarterback sneak. They went for 2. The 2-point conversion failed, so it's a 30 to 20 Grove City lead here on homecoming day at Westminster College. Ross takes the kickoff, gets up past the 20-yard line and taken down right about there, maybe to the 21.
Once again, good coverage. Had air under the ball, Jack, and kickoff team ran under it. Very good coverage. And starting at about, the 21-yard line.
This is Grove City's 3rd offensive drive of the second half. The first one, they opened up the half, and they were forced to punt. Second time around for the Wolverines. They got down into the red zone after recovering a Westminster fumble. And they couldn't quite find the end zone, but they did get a 16-yard field goal on the strength of Nick Morrow. Now a chance to add more. Wesley Schools with it on the carry, and he's taken down. A gain of 1 brings up 2nd and 9.
This is a crucial drive. Everyone is right now. We're inside of 6 minutes in the third quarter, Jack. Everything has to count. Every play really has to be outstanding. And I'm kind of thinking, let's look for a deep route again. Let's look for Cody Gustafson. And let's not forget Drake over here, but I think Gustafson has just really hurt us deeply.
Josh East, the quarterback in the shotgun option, pitch to Wesley Schools. And taken down. There's a flag on the near side of the field away from the play. It was a solid pickup that time for
signaling.
Schools.
Our guys are signaling them. I don't know, maybe movement. I didn't notice anything from our vantage point, but
flag came during the play, but offsides on Westminster.
5-yard penalty. Remain second down.
Wrong again. We aligned differently or we jumped.
So the play will stand. Second down, 3 to go.
No, I think they took the penalty.
5:10 left in the third quarter. Grove City holding a 10-point lead. Westminster's defense needs a big stop here. Wesley Schools on second down. Gets the first down and just dives forward for a couple extra yards. Brings things all the way to the 34-yard line.
They are hitting their seams. That they are controlling the line of scrimmage. They're controlling the line of scrimmage offensively, and they're creating an awful lot of problems for us with their defense as well.
Looks like a change of play. As you were mentioning earlier, Grove City getting all of their plays from the sideline, moving a little bit quicker that way. 1st and 10, Schools on the ground.
Oh, he's just slipping up there. His vision is tremendous.
And my apologies, Trusky on the carry, so Schools getting another break. It's Trusky out there carrying the ball right now for Grove City.
It's hard to determine. They have an 8 and a 3, and you just
Similar
really can't
build
pick it
as
up
well.
from a side angle.
Either way, 2nd and 4, balls on the 40-yard line.
See their double blockers up there, 41 and 46, I believe, or 48. Like two tight ends off the line of scrimmage, and they have their two receivers.
Trusky gets nowhere, taken down in the backfield that time. Paul Gonzalez in on the hit. You know, Paul Gonzalez on defense has been relatively quiet in this game compared to his regular self.
Yes, he has. Grove City, I'm quite sure, worked very, very diligently this week on neutralizing Paul Gonzalez.
Third and 5 from the 39. Wesley Schools back out there for Grove City with the quarterback Josh East in the shotgun. East back to pass, looking right. Man wide open, it's Gustafson on the sideline, trying to get some more, and he does, but eventually ripped, looks like out of bounds.
He just went down and did a stop route. He sprinted down, and we were giving him, because he's burned us so significantly on that fly route, Jack. He just sprinted down the field, stopped, and came back a yard or two, and we were 5 to 8 yards away from him.
The same way you run to set up the pass, you know, you do those flies to set up the comeback route. That time Gustafson did it perfectly. Didn't have a man within 5 yards of him with when he brought in the catch. And now a first down from the Westminster 49. Grove City's moving. Hand off to Schools, and he just darts forward 7 yards, I believe, on the pickup. A play that I think looked like it was only going to result in maybe a 1-2 yard pickup, but he just dove forward.
Zone blocking, I believe. The offensive line is sliding to the right with the up back or the lead back coming back to the left, and the offensive line is sliding.
Taking a look at an update with the Case W&J game. Case Western leading 14-7 over W&J. That's a matchup of the two top teams right now in the pack. Again, Teal and St. Vincent not getting started till 3 p.m. today. Second down and 5. East back to pass, pressured over the middle, looking for Cameron Drake, incomplete. And Drake's calling for a flag, but it's not going to matter. He's not an official. Just the intended receiver there, incomplete. So it brings up third and 5.
Yeah, that was we had double coverage on him, our safety and the corner, Both were with him.
Another third down, the second straight. Last time Grove City converted. It's a 3rd and 6 from the 45. 1:50 left in the third quarter. The Wolverines hold a 10-point lead. They love to pad that here. East fires to his left again for Cameron Drake. Picked off nearly. So it looked like two men on the same team tried to pick it off. Kevin Brown made the initial contact in the secondary. Bryce Thomas nearly ripped it out of his hands. I think that's just some aggressive defense being played. And you don't have to fault them by any means. You know, they're in the right place at the right time, but both of them being there at the same time resulted in just an incompletion. They'll take it, though, because Grove City will punt. Denny Dennison is the return man for Westminster. Fourth and 6 from the 45. A change of possession here. Caleb Brake gets the punt away. It's a good one. Fair catch by Denny Dennison. Right good at decision. The 15-yard line, maybe the 14.
Very good decision. 34, Luke Salerno, their very strong linebacker, was right down there. So if we would have made that interception, we would have been about maybe 15-yard difference. But still a good hold for the Titans after giving up that stop route first down.
Our alumni audience will be very familiar with Westminster's tradition of the mock convention. This year, 2016 presidential candidate Martin O'Malley will serve as the keynote speaker at the mock convention. It'll occur on Tuesday, November 2nd in Orr Auditorium here at Westminster. The Titans back on offense. It's a handoff to Tyler Green running left. And Green, a good pickup on the first play of the drive. It's a 6-yard gain.
And that's what the Titans have to do. There's a minute and 25 to play in this quarter. Quarter moving fast, Jack.
Yeah, moving very quickly. I think much quicker than either quarter of the first half did. It seemed like the first half was kind of dragging on, but you know, with a rush-heavy offense like Grove City, that clock is just going to keep moving. Now a 2nd down and 2 from the 23-yard line. High snap again. Tyler Green, he meanders his way up for a first down and more room to go.
There's going to be...
Yeah, flag down, and I think you're right, Scooter. It's going to be a personal foul on Grove City. Tyler Green, just perhaps unnecessary roughness, but just pushed out of bounds at the end of the play, and he didn't really need to be.
Personal foul on the defense, number 34. 15-yard penalty. Results in an automatic first down.
Luke Salerno picks up the foul that time for Grove City. Personal foul and another big boost for Westminster after what was already a great run from Tyler Green. You know, he took his time, patient piece of running there, found his hole, and once he found it, he just broke right through it. Good pickup, first down, Westminster now in Grove City territory.
What's good about that is, you know, that clock stopped till everything was set. Tyler again.
Green, more room.
Spots.
Another first down for the Titans. Tyler Green, more patience again on that one, on that last run. Something that's paying off absolutely. And we talked before the game about the offensive line's performance in Westminster's game against Case Western. They kind of got blown up. They had a very talented pass rush coming against them, allowed 6 sacks, 4 fumbles in that game. In this one against Grove City, they've been much more poised and have performed far better.
Very good observation. There's
Connor Cox over the middle, jukes out a man. Connor Cox has a lane into the end zone. He gets there. Cox, run after catch, 6 for Westminster.
Interesting decision now. Kick the extra point. Go for 2. I think we're going to kick the extra point. Jack, we're going to kick the extra point and come within a field goal of Grove City.
I think, Scooter, I mean, I'm no coach. You absolutely are a coach. But coming within that field goal, the risk-reward, I think, pays off if you just knock down this extra point. Because if you miss it, then you need a touchdown to come back in this game. Dudek's extra point is up. It's good. A 30-27 game now. Westminster is right there. Grove City still has the lead. But Westminster on the Wolverines' heels. We'll be right back with more on your home of the Titans, WCN.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy. So we show them how, and we tell them, with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids need to know the dangers and how to avoid them. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal.
Team. And the boy was Grove
Welcome
City
back
ready.
to Bury Stadium. Grove City getting set to return the kick after a Westminster touchdown. Good on the extra point. And the Wolverines holding a 3-point lead, 30-27 over the Westminster Titans. Dudek's kick is away from the 35 and a good kick. Fielded inside the 5-yard line. Bringing it up past the 10, slips up. Ross down inside the 15. Westminster, a great break there. You can't really credit Westminster's kick team too much on that one. Good kick, though, by Tanner Dudek.
They were coming. Best kick we've seen.
And at this point, we'll take it down to the sideline to Maddie Keenan, who has an interview with the Homecoming King and Homecoming Queen, Brandon Williams and Faith Howe. Maddie.
Thanks, Jack. So, yes, I'm here on the sideline with Homecoming King Brandon Williams and Homecoming Queen Faith Howe. So, Faith, what are you going to do now that you're queen?
I am going to go home, change out of these uncomfortable heels, and then go out to eat with my mom.
And, Brandon, you were known for having such an interesting campaign. How did you come up with this idea?
Well, it was the day the court was announced, and my best friend and I were sitting in my room, and he said, well, I choose you. And I said, like Pokemon. And from then on, it was, I choose you, Brandon. I want to be the very best.
Well, thank you both, and congratulations on being named Homecoming King and Queen. Thanks, Jack.
Thank you, Maddie. Good interview there. And what we saw in the game action just on the screen while that interview was going on, a huge pass again to who else but Cody Gustafson for Grove City, switching fields for the Wolverines. And that brings us to, that's the end of the third quarter. Grove City leading 30-27 through 3 frames. So we'll be right back in just a moment on your home of the Titans, WCN. This program is brought to you by the Tavern on the Square. The Tavern has been serving old-fashioned cooking since 1931. To make a reservation, you can call 724-946-2020. The Tavern on the Square is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network.
This program is brought to you by Shenango on the Green. Making aging easier is what Shenango on the Green is all about. You can find living and care options at srcare.org. You can also call Shenango on the Green at 724-946-3516.
This program is brought to you by Consensus Technologies, a leader in cybersecurity and professional IT services. You can contact them at www.consensus.com for information on a variety of IT solutions. Consensus Technologies is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network.
Welcome back to Bury Stadium. Starting off the third quarter, Grove City has the ball, and they are up by 3 right now, 30-27 over Westminster. Last time out for Grove City, they were forced to punt it away, and Westminster took advantage. A Kanichka connection with Connor Cox resulted in a touchdown. Extra point was good. And now looking for Cameron Drake on the sideline. Wow, what a great toe tap by Cameron Drake over on the left side. He was pulled out of bounds, but he just kept his feet planted right there and got the completion. First down and a big one for Grove City.
They have just changed field position in 2 plays, 2 fly routes. No cuts to the middle, nothing. 2 fly routes, Jack. They have just shredded our corners.
Through 3 quarters, Josh East, the quarterback, has put up 229 yards. Tack on a good chunk right there, adding on to that figure. Now a 1st and 10 in the red zone from the 16-yard line.
We have a flag over here. Is this an illegal substitution?
Substitution.
Yes.
On the defense, 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Yeah, you called it, Scooter. I think you read that one all the way. Too many men on the field. You only are allowed 11 at once. Westminster tried for 12. I think unintentionally, albeit. So that gives Grove City a 5-yard boost. It'll be 1st and 5 now. Wesley Schools He gets it, but all tangled up when he gets back to the line.
All tangled up, Jack, but you see him just turn his back and keep those feet moving, and he picked up 3 yards when actually, about 3 yards, simply with balance.
Yeah, he carried the tackler with him there for a couple yards.
Exactly.
Makes it a 2nd down, 2 to go, now from the 9-yard line.
Quarterback's under center.
See if they go for a power run here. They do. Yeah. Wesley Schools breaking through, and did he get the touchdown? I think not quite. Stopped at the 2-yard line. Tough to see it down on the far side of the field. Wesley Schools, I mean, he's just been consistent this game. That's the word for it. And, I mean, credit Wesley Schools, credit that offensive line. But when in doubt, they've been able to pick up yards, Grove City, that is, on runs with Schools.
And the bomb.
So lots of movement, audibles before each play, maybe trying to throw off that Westminster defense. Schools again is number 3 the time that he gets into the end zone. He does. Touchdown, Wesley Schools. And Grove City extends their lead. With the extra point, it'll be a 10-point lead for the Wolverines.
That was close to an 80-yard drive, fueled by 2 long fly route passes.
That's Wesley Schools' 4th touchdown of the game, too, Scooter. We talk about those fly route passes. The combination of that with Schools' consistency on just short 3, 4, 5-yard pickups has allowed Grove City to take this 10-point lead. They get the extra point. 37-27 with 13:05 remaining here in the game. We'll be right back with more fourth quarter action on WCN.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Back here at Bury Stadium at Titan Drive at Westminster College, it's a 37-27 lead. Just about 13 minutes left in the game. Grove City ahead of Westminster. It's homecoming day for Westminster. They want nothing more than a win over their rivals, Grove City. Right now, though, the Wolverines absolutely in the driver's seat. Westminster will return here following a Wesley Schools touchdown on Grove City's last drive. Vince Giles takes it in inside the 10. Now switching fields to his right. Giles roomed down the sideline.
Got the edge.
And he tiptoed down that sideline and I think just barely got to midfield that time. Looks like they're going to spot him right at the 50. Great return by Vince Giles. He ran to his left and really pulled over the whole kick team for Grove City. That allowed him to cut back to his right, and once everybody was already over to one side, he had room to run.
They kicked the ball to his left side, to our Westminster's left side, trying to direct him this way, and he started up and they collapsed, and he just had more speed than they had contained.
Westminster starting their drive from the midfield stripe. Play action pass, Connor Cox, complete. Great job by Connor Cox to hang on to that one. We were talking earlier in the game, Scooter, about when a receiver has to go airborne, they lose body control. Connor Cox there showing that even without that body control, as long as he focuses, he can bring it in.
He's got wonderful hands, and that was great concentration because 21 laid a lick on him. He held on to that thing.
To use a Scooterism, really sunk his meat hooks into that one. 2nd and 1. Now Tyler Green with it, and he shuffles up. Looks like he just gets the first down. It's going to be close, but from our angle, Scooter, I think he got it.
I don't know. I see the linesman over there. No, I think they're calling a third down. See the linesman over there? It's hard to pick him up, but I think they're calling a third, yes. 3rd and 1 or less than 1.
3rd down and 1 foot, maybe. Green again, and blitz came, down. But Green was able to just lean forward for the first down.
Yes, but number 34 ran him down from the, Luke Salerno. Young man has very good speed along with good size. Very fine linebacker.
Westminster taking over at the 38 following the Tyler Green first down. Now it's Keanu Grice, the back for the Titans.
They use Salerno a lot as a defensive rush man.
Back to pass, Kanichka, pressured.
Good job.
And again, Kanichka
Good job.
makes something out of nothing. Holds on to the ball, nearly lost it there at the end, but
he was down. He was down.
Right.
It wouldn't have been a fumble, but very good. But
Scooter, that's the third or fourth time we've seen Kanichka do that. You know, he found good blocks on a play that could have blown up in his face, and rather than throwing it away, you know, he's had 2 picks in this game, but he just kept it himself and got a good gain. Now it's second down, 4 to go. Kanichka play action, rolling right with plenty of room, and Kanichka keeps it himself, gets the first down, and hit pretty hard there. But I'm pretty confident he got to that first down marker. The line judge saying he didn't.
He just escaped a hard hit on that last run, and he took one straight on this time, Jack. A lot of moxie by Cole right now. And they're giving him the run. I just think maybe he might have taken it a shade sooner there, but that's not relevant.
Tyler Green does get the first down this time, and a couple more, nearly to the 20-yard line. Good run by Tyler Green, and flag down after the play. Grove City's sideline is pretty pumped up, so we'll see what the call is.
The first down was made. We have a dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Westminster, number 68. It's a 15-yard penalty. Number 68's first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game. First down, Westminster.
That is something we do not need, is to give up yardage like that. We earned the first down, and now
it's going to set Westminster
back to the
37.
37.
They'll still have a 1st and 10.
It's 37.
But yeah, now they're back only a yard difference from where they were before that Tyler Green run. On first down, Green takes it up for about a yard, maybe 2 that time. Devin Little was the man who committed the unsportsmanlike penalty last time, the center for Westminster.
That's 2 of those this game. And those are 15-yarders, period. Loss.
Second down, 7 to go from the 34. Back to pass, Kanichka. Now looking left, Joey Joy takes it in and nearly stays on his feet, but taken down. He does get the first down, though. Joey Joy getting a little bit more comfortable in this offense. He hasn't been featured very much this season, but this game, you know, warming his way back up to the offense.
Yes, he certainly is. Certainly is. That was a nice grab, good route, and came very close to breaking for more yardage.
And now draw play, Tyler Green, originally up the middle, but cuts to his left and taken down after a gain of about 2 yards.
Nice job by Grove City that time of blocking. They kept their position, and we have broken to the outside numerous times today, Jack, and our backs see that, and they just kind of really sat and funneled us in. Just a gain of 2.
2nd and 8 from the 19. Kanichka.
This will be a free play. This will be a free play.
He just fires a deep, tipped pass that time.
Okay.
But as you said, likely a free play now. And Westminster will get a mulligan. Patrick Mark on the tip.
On the defense, number 34. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That's Salerno again committing the penalty for Grove City, and he's been solid. We saw that earlier on in the
very
drive.
Solid.
That's his second penalty of the game.
But he's also caused some havoc with that rush. They're using him really like a defensive end, rush end in there. And
so in the 3-4, you know, you have 3 down linemen, and then he's the rush linebacker.
And they're always bringing 4.
2nd and 3. Cole Kanichka, pump fake. Now over the middle. Complete Collison, touchdown. Westminster. Someone you don't often see running routes that time. He's the fullback for the Titans and caught Grove City's defense off guard just as much as it caught you and I off guard. One way or the other, it's 6 for the Titans.
I think it might have been a 4-man route, which certainly includes that tight end. and which is essentially what he's lined up as. And we got the extra point coming here. Very important.
A good extra point makes it, again, just a 3-point game. Dudek's kick is through. So the score, 37-34 with just under 9 minutes left to go in this contest. Westminster is right on the brink of taking the lead in this game. We'll be right back with more on WCN.
Well, the last time we stuck them way down.
This program is brought to you by Consensus Technologies, a leader in cybersecurity and professional IT services. You can contact them at www.consensus.com for information on a variety of IT solutions. Consensus Technologies is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network.
It's getting critical.
Here at Bury Stadium, we have just a touch under 9 minutes left to go in the game. Grove City still leading Westminster, but Westminster is right there with them. It's a 37-34 Grove City lead. And Scooter, a defensive stand here from the Titans will be huge. They just scored a touchdown pass from Kanichka to Chase Collison, the fullback, this time lining up really at tight end. Brought the Titans back to that 3-point margin with just under 9 minutes. This is a critical defensive opportunity for Westminster.
Certainly is, Jack. We need a good kickoff here, great coverage, and then don't give up big yards. It's a line drive. That's their return is to their right.
Pass 25, flag down.
We're going to have something here. I hope it's not a face mask.
During the return, holding. Return team, number 11. 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul.
Puts them deep.
Grove City keeps the ball, first down.
Good break for Westminster, a holding penalty on Cameron Drake. So otherwise a pretty good return for the Wolverines, but now it looks like they'll spot the ball.
Well, it was a line drive, and it didn't allow them to get their return pattern quite in position.
And I originally thought the 19, actually just the 16.
The correct position is the 16, first and 10, Grove City.
Clarification from the official, and we're ready to go. This drive starting for the Wolverines at the 16-yard line, backed up into their own territory. 8:52 left in this game. Wolverines hold a 3-point lead. They want to run clock. They want to add on to their already pretty decent lead. And Schools just stops right at the line, getting nowhere. Something that hasn't been a very common sight in this game. We've seen him almost every play get up for at least 3, 4, 5 yards. This time, stops, no gain, 2nd and 10.
Twins to the field. Split receiver right. Watch out.
Very well may have a pass on here, but again, don't be surprised to see a Wesley Schools run on just 2nd and 10. Ball still at the 16. Play action. East looking left, incomplete. Great coverage down on that left side of the field. Aaron Pierce and Kevin Brown. They had Gustafson all covered up.
Aaron was on him, and Brown came in from the corner, and Aaron got underneath the pattern. Screen draw delay right here. Be alert for those, too.
You can hear the rattling of the bleachers. Scooter, you and I can feel it. It's a 3rd and 10 from the 16.
Trips to the field. Trips to the field, split end.
And that split right, that's Cody Gustafson. He's burned these Titans all game long. Press coverage on him. Now to the left side, incomplete. Cameron Drake was the intended receiver. Flags down. And looks like we might have a pass interference call on that last play. It would have brought up a 4th down and 10. We'll see what the call is. And it looks like it's going to be a pass interference on the defense.
They've been working those officials on every pass.
On the defense, number 9. It's a spot foul. Automatic, first down.
That's a pass interference on Joe Minert, the sophomore. And that gives Grove City a first down that otherwise, what would have been a 4th down. Grove City likely would have punted it away to Westminster.
And time.
8:06.
They have 41 and 46 Acting as, this is almost the old power I formation. 3 backs in the backfield. Option.
Schools gets it on the option and up for a yard or 2 on the carry, but he gets out of bounds, stops the clock.
That is almost like the old power I we saw 30, 40 years ago. Only they're not in the, they're in the back, they're not up on the, surrounding the I back. They're off of the tackles, stacking the tackles. Trips, split.
2nd and 9. Grove City on their own 31-yard line. Great break for them last time. Westminster committed a defensive pass interference penalty. We'll see if Grove City can capitalize. Another option, pitch to Wesley Schools. And yeah, great coverage that time by Westminster, and he doesn't get very far.
Who was that tackle by? I can't read the number 90. No, right here, number 40. Number 40, that was correct.
You know, I think that's Tyree Reeder on the tackle, Scooter, and it sets up after just a 1-yard gain, a 3rd down. Now 8 to go from the 32. Trips out to the right, 1 man out left. East likely looking to pass here on a 3rd down, still a long way to go. He is. East in the pocket to the right. Gustafson tips it, nearly picks, incomplete, 4th down and 8. And Gustafson that time, you know, he had it right there, but looks like Bryce Thomas just knocked it out of his hands. It was nearly picked off by another DB for Westminster, but they'll take it, incomplete pass, and Westminster will take control on the punt.
But they also had 2 white shirts right there, too, on that tip, Jack. Number 80 was closing quickly. But those helped. Those stopped the clock.
Denny Dennison stations himself at the 30 to return this punt. It's a
we're going to get a running in, too.
A flag down. And I was looking at the other end, Scooter, but yeah, I saw the aftermath of that one. A roughing the punter that time.
I don't know that it's roughing. It may be running into. 5 yards if it's running into. If it's roughing, then it's 15, Jack. They're going to take the punt, I believe.
Running into the kicker on the defense, number 81. Grove City is elected to take the 5-yard penalty tacked on at the end of the kick. 1st down.
So avoiding what could have been far worse had that been a roughing the kicker call. And just 5 yards pushed back at the end of that play. So Westminster does take possession. See where they officially spot the ball. Looks like about the 21-yard line. Westminster trails by just 3. It's a 37-34 game with 6.5 minutes left to play. It's a handoff to Tyler Green, and Green fights forward about 2 yards on the carry.
Yeah, Cole's coming up with good fakes, but Grove City isn't biting. Looks like he's going to throw the ball after he hands it off. That was about a 3-yard gain, actually.
Titans now on the 25.
Trips, split.
Kanichka.
And they're bringing 5 with the
He's in the pocket. Quick pass. Dwayne Brown over the middle. And taken down. 1st down for the Titans. Dwayne Brown has been so solid in this game, Scooter. You know, normally you see him out on the edge with those route running things. He's not usually a run-after-catch wide receiver, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But in this game, he's shown that he has that ability.
Oh, very much so, Jack, very much so. And you know, if I'm a defensive coordinator, number 1, I am watching Connor Cox breathe practically. I'm going to cover him so tight. And Brown is picking up the slack from that. And the rush.
From the 35, Kanichka hits Brown again. Another 1st down. And Brown is spun to the ground that time. It's another 1st down.
They're bringing the rush. They're coming from outside, from inside. They brought 5 against our 5 when we had trips in the split.
And twice in a row there, Scooter, they brought the rush in. Konieczka got it out quickly, found Dwayne Brown, and 2 positive plays. We'll see if Grove City switches up their philosophy on defense now that that rush has been exploited.
Well, when you're bringing those people, they're not underneath. They're not underneath either, so.
To fix the chain.
Officials timeout to fix the chains.
Fix the chain. Get the other set out there.
Can't play with a broken chain. And Titan fans will have an opportunity later this month to view the remarkable new Memorial Fieldhouse men's locker and recruitment room when it's dedicated on Thursday, October 24th at 7 p.m. We had a sneak peek into the locker room, and it's very, very impressive. The celebration will take place in the Grover Washabaw lobby in Memorial Fieldhouse. Find out more and reserve your spot by visiting westminster.edu. It's a great recruitment tool, of course, and great for our current athletes of Westminster. The new locker room this year for the Titans is absolutely beautiful.
Now, it'll be interesting. They've only got their 3 down linemen, which we knew they were going to be. They've got 4 linebackers in under there. They've got a 3-man umbrella right now. Well, there's actually a 4-man umbrella, so it's a 3-4 look there.
Just getting word right now that the legendary head coach of the Westminster women's volleyball team, Coach Tammy Swearingen, today just picked up her 600th career win. So congrats to Coach Swearingen on quite a career at Westminster. The volleyball program doing well, very well again, of course, this year. I believe they haven't lost a packed game so far. Lots of delay here on that official's timeout to fix the chains, but now we're ready to go. It's a 1st and 10 for the Titans on their own 48. Tyler Green gets the carry. And he gets a good gain that time, 5 yards, maybe 6, brings up 2nd down.
I like Rich DeMayo's offensive strategy here, Jack. Throw, run. Not abandoning the run totally. Still making Grove City play honest football. Look at their under coverage, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here comes the 4th man, though.
On 2nd down, Konieczka, low throw to Dwayne Brown. Looked to be incomplete.
Brown acting like he thinks he should have made the catch, but it was
pretty clearly bounced into his arms.
It was really down, but now that brings up a 3rd and 5, something we haven't faced here too much. 3rd and 5. Keanu Grice into the game, maybe just a little bit better receiver than 32. Let's see here.
I mean, we'll see if that pressure comes from Grove City. Grice might be there to just dump the ball away to. Konieczka looks for Dwayne Brown and complete. Dwayne Brown gets another 1st down. Those quick passes over the middle to Brown have been the bread and butter for the Titans on this drive.
Like we said before, Jack, though, if I'm that defensive coordinator, I want to know where Connor Cox is. I want to know where he is. Joey's out here wide to the field.
Yeah,
Cox is inside of him.
He's been relatively quiet this drive. Don't be surprised to see him as the Titans now march further down onto Grove City's end of the field. It's a 1st and 10 from the 40. And Keanu Grice carrying to the left. He finds a hole. Grice is loose. Grice stays on his feet. 10-5. Touchdown, Titans! Keanu Grice, a 40-yard rushing touchdown, and the Titans take the lead. 40-37. And with that extra point, it could be a 4-point lead for the Titans.
Keanu Grice. What can you say? What can you say? He made a couple subtle little cuts in there, kept those feet churning. He takes little steps. What a play. And great blocking.
Dudek's extra point. It's up. It's good. Westminster holds a 4-point lead, 41-37 with only 3:49 left in the game. Grove City will get the ball back right after this. We'll be right back on WCN. This program is brought to you by Pizza Joe's New Wilmington. Specialty pizza, wings, and more on Market Street in New Wilmington. You can place an order at 724-946-2515. Pizza Joe's New Wilmington is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network. This program is brought to you by Ed and Jerry's Auto Service, providing auto care, maintenance, and local towing to New Wilmington, Westminster College, and the surrounding communities since 1964. Ed and Jerry's Auto Service is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network.
Kick.
Back at Bury Stadium, it's a 41-37 lead for the Westminster Titans following a 40-yard Keanu Grice rushing the score. An absolutely electric run by Keanu Grice, exactly what the Titans needed. And now, with less than 4 minutes left to play, the Titan defense will need to step up big if they want to win on homecoming day.
Oh, boy, Jack. Oh, boy. Here we go.
Dudek's kick is away. Fielded at the 5-yard line. And Ross working it back up. Now crosses the 20. And taken down inside the 30-yard line, maybe the 27.
Had a shot back at him. Deep, much deeper. Number 83 just couldn't latch on. Dalton Anderson. He's our terrific track decathlete.
Officially, the 29 is where Grove City starts this drive.
They have 2 timeouts left. 3:44 to play.
In Grove City, they don't need to rush down the field. They need to score on this drive, but they can do it at their own pace. Wesley Schools gets the carry on the first play of the drive, gets about 3 yards, maybe 4.
He kind of ran through Paul Gonzalez a little bit. Paul made him a little bit more.
Another packed score update. Case Western leading W&J 21-7 in the third quarter. Teal gets the early advantage over St. Vincent in the first. And East screens it out left and gets the first down. Good pass that time and a quick strike from Josh East.
I would consider that a wide receiver screen. They ran the inside receiver out to block and brought the receiver with the ball in underneath.
1st and 10 after the Cameron Drake completion. Grove City now at the 42. Play action pass. East finds Gustafson complete. Good hit that time from Vince Giles, but even better focus by Gustafson. That's a 7-yard pickup, brings up 2nd and 3. Maybe 2nd and 4.
And Brandon Caffrey was kind of sneaking around out there. He was the inside receiver. I believe he's the inside receiver to the field now.
On 2nd down, Schools gets the first down, and Schools has room to the left. He cuts back in and is taken down before he can reach the 40-yard line. Call it the 41. And I think Schools on that one, Scooter, if he just kept to his left, he might have picked up 5-10 more yards.
Yes, I think you're right.
That bang-bang decision-making, always tough, and Schools still a pretty good run there and still gets the first down. Now on the Titans side of things, Schools gets another carry, and this time up for about 6.
They're moving the sticks, Jack. They're moving the sticks. They're picking up yards, moving the sticks. Under 2 minutes to play, but 2 timeouts to go, and they're moving those sticks.
2nd and 4, just 1:43 left in the game. Grove City trails by 4. They need a touchdown.
Here's Gustafson to the field. Westminster taking a timeout, and possibly very, very shrewd by Coach Benzel.
The Titans take a timeout, so will we. We'll be right back on your home of the Titans. The Titans holding a 41-37 lead. You're on WCN.
This program is brought to you by Consensus Technologies, a leader in cybersecurity and professional IT services. You can contact them at www.consensus.com for information on a variety of IT solutions. Consensus Technologies is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network. Download the Titan Radio app for Apple and Androids today and listen to the best music and sports commercial-free anywhere you take your mobile phone or tablet. Also get access to news, special podcast content, and a whole lot more. Just search for Titan Radio on the Apple or Android App Store.
Keep the Faith is America's #1 syndicated radio show with over 2 million weekly listeners. Join Westminster alum Keith Stevens and Donna Cruz for Contagious Encouragement every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on Titan Radio.
1:37 left to play here at Bury Stadium. The Titans clinging on to a 41-37 lead over their rivals Grove City here on homecoming day. The Wolverines are on offense in Titan territory. They're facing a 2nd down and 4 from the 35-yard line. The Grove City Wolverines here, they need a touchdown to take the lead. They're down by 4. East option, pitch to Wesley Schools.
Missed tackle.
And Schools just stays on his feet, barrels forward, 1st down.
Missed tackle.
Originally Scooter had that first defender brought down Schools. It wouldn't have been a 1st down at all, but it seemed like every time contact would come to Schools, he just barreled forward for a couple more. Good pickup.
I'm not going to guess, but I couldn't quite see the number, but...
Again, Wesley Schools.
They're riding Schools. They're riding Schools.
Well, when you have a ride like that, Scooter, you're not going to leave it in the garage. You're going to give it to Schools almost every time. That's what they've done, and it's been perfect.
Their plan is to get in with no time.
Just a minute even left in the game. Schools carries again, and tripped up right at the 10-yard line. Grove City running as much clock as possible. You wonder when Westminster will call their first timeout, because in the red zone today, Grove City has been very efficient on the strength of Wesley Schools.
Well, here comes those long passes. They've really got us worried, and now they're running twins with a split. Those big honchos up front are providing holes.
Clock rolling, only 30 seconds left to play in the game. And there's a timeout.
Timeout, Grove City.
Grove City takes a timeout, but first they run the clock all the way down to 27 seconds.
They think that Schools is going to get in.
I mean, why wouldn't you? I think everything points to that pretty much, Scooter, at this point. Schools already has 4 touchdowns in the game. And here looking to tack on number 5, and it's very much in reach. From the red zone, Schools has been lethal today. And I think Coach G. Donato and the Wolverines have every reason to believe that he'll be just as automatic here with 27 seconds left in the game. The ball's on the 8-yard line. It's a 1st and goal for Grove City. Again, they trail by 4. They need a touchdown on this drive. And if they get it, they reclaim the lead. With the extra point, it would be a 3-point lead, leaving Westminster virtually no time to do anything on offense. No matter how you shake it, Scooter, these last 30 seconds are going to be so interesting.
Grove City with 1 timeout left. So if the defense can pull a stuff right here, it's 1st down. Pass.
East slinging right, looking for Gustafson. Hits, but out of bounds, incomplete. 2nd and goal from the 8, but good coverage there. Gustafson just a little bit underthrown to him. Otherwise, Westminster would have taken control and run out the clock of this game.
And good over-under coverage. Good over-under coverage.
Yeah, Gustafson there was double-teamed, and for good reason.
Bryce Thomas was in underneath.
23 seconds left. 2nd and goal from the 8. East gets his play from the sideline. Wesley Schools is the halfback.
Keep your eye on Schools.
And play whistle down before it starts.
Westminster takes its 2nd timeout.
With Westminster's timeout and the score at 41-37, we'll take a quick break. Be right back on your home of the Titans, WCN. This program is brought to you by Gilliland's Market in New Wilmington, providing a variety of groceries and homemade meats. Gilliland's is open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, and Saturday, 8 to 4. Gilliland's Market is a proud sponsor of the Westminster College Network.
This program is brought to you by Bill's Sandwich Shop. Hot sandwiches, platters, and more at 2425 Wilmington Road. You can find the full menu online at billssandwichshop.com. Bill's is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
.22 seconds left to play at Bury Stadium. The Titans holding a 41-37 lead over their arch rivals, the Grove City Wolverines. It's homecoming day, and this game is coming down to the final seconds. Just a 4-point lead for the Titans. Grove City in striking distance. It's a second down and goal from the 8-yard line. Wesley Schools has been electric in the red zone. He already has 4 touchdowns, looking for number 5 here. Schools gets it on the ground. Cutting to his left, Aaron Pierce wraps him up. 3rd and goal now. Wesley Schools gets a couple yards, maybe 1 yard on that play. And you can feel the electricity in this crowd, Scooter. Every time on defense that Westminster tackler, that time Aaron Pierce gets in, absolutely lights up this homecoming crowd. The Wolverine den across the way, too. Pretty strong today. The close proximity of this game brought out a lot of Grove City fans. And another, looks like Westminster timeout. Grove City.
I think this was Grove City's timeout.
Timeout, rather. And I mean, either way, I think both teams want the clock to stop right here. 15 seconds left in the game. I mean, of course, Westminster would like to run it out, but
this doesn't hurt us. This does not hurt Westminster, this timeout at all, because it allows us to recompose instead of hurry, hurry, hurry. I fully support Grove City's call of the timeout there, but I'm not so sure that not hurrying up might not have helped too.
And speaking of that electric crowd, Matt Stinson down at the front of the bleachers. He's getting everybody standing for this last defensive stand. Electric crowd for homecoming. This could be the defining play of the game. 3rd down and 6.
Huge. They don't have a timeout. We do.
The Titans essentially need one defensive stand right here.
Jumped around.
On 3rd down, East looking to pass. Cameron Drake tipped. Incomplete. But the clock stops on the pass, so they opt not to run it so as to stop the clock as Grove City no longer has a timeout. The incomplete pass leaves 12 seconds on the clock, and on 4th and 6, this is Grove City's last opportunity. They score on this game, Grove City wins. Westminster gets the stop, and the Titans can run out the clock.
6 yards to go. Schooley is a weapon. Those 2 receivers are unbelievable.
4th and goal from the 6. The game comes down to this play.
Timeout
Westminster.
No sense saving it.
So, I mean, I'm getting rapid heart palpitations, and Coach Benson opts to stop play here. 12 seconds left to go in the game. We'll take a quick break, too. Be right back with the final play, potentially, of this game. Titans leading by 4 on WCN.
I drive 65,000 miles each year in my bus. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. You don't want to be in the blind spot of a 40,000-pound bus when I have less than a second to react. I do what I can by changing lanes and taking turns slowly. It really helps when people look out for me, too. Give me room to operate safely. It's our roads. It's our safety.
12 seconds left to play. It's a 4th down and goal. Grove City's offense is on Westminster's 6-yard line. This is Grove City's last chance of the game. They trail by 4. It's a 41-37 Westminster lead. Westminster, with a defensive stand here, can run out the clock on the turnover on downs. Grove City, with a touchdown, leaves Westminster with almost no time to come back on the scoreboard. So this is the defining play.
With the split. Don't forget the wide receiver screen. And, of course, Wesley Schools sits in that backfield, the lone running back, as he's been the entire game.
Josh East, the quarterback in the shotgun. Wesley Schools to his right. East back to pass. Fires over the middle. Picked off! Paul Gonzalez gets the pick, and the Titans will get one play on offense, and Scooter, we're headed home.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, I tell you.
You know, Scooter, earlier today I said Paul Gonzalez has been quiet this game in comparison with what we know Paul Gonzalez as, and I think it was all worth it for that one play. Can't ask for a better scenario. Scooter, flashback to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. You're talking about the Seattle Seahawks, the New England Patriots.
Yes.
They could have run the ball on the last play on the goal line.
Yes.
Opted to pass. Malcolm Butler cuts it off. The Patriots win the Super Bowl. Right here, we're not quite playing the Super Bowl, but as far as Pack games go, Westminster and Grove City on homecoming.
We've got a flag because
a lot going on.
Because of the celebration and everything, but that's okay. Now we can't, we could take a safety even and not be in trouble, but just sneak the ball, get under center, sneak the ball, and the clock runs out. Sneak the ball forward. Watch them pinch the middle, though. Watch them pinch the middle, Jack.
Grove
Look
City,
at that, stacked up
Grove
in
City
there.
has no timeouts. It's an I formation for Westminster, backed up into their own end zone. A quarterback sneak. And it looks like no safety. A positive, Grove City's celebrating. The ball was loose. Scooter, I believe the ball came loose and Grove City may have recovered right there.
I'm not sure.
The official is pointing to suggest that Grove City has the ball on the goal line.
Recovered a fumble.
Oh my, Scooter, you and I thought the roller coaster was over.
Oh, good heavens. Recovered a fumble. I wonder if Grove City tried to smack the ball as we were snapping it or something as he started to move it, and Cole Konichka did not get the exchange.
Coach Benzel pleading with the officials on the field still, but the call is going to stand. Grove City has another chance with 4 seconds left in this game. And Scooter, I'm a big fat liar.
I'm speechless.
That was not the defining play of the game. This one right here is, and on the goal line, you'd have to think this is going to Wesley Schools. Already 4 touchdowns in the game.
The snap's coming back. And he's just going to try to dive.
Under center, and it's a sneak. Josh East. Can Josh East do it 2 games in a row? He does. Last week against CMU, Grove City went into overtime. The final play of the game was a Josh East quarterback sneak to win the game. And what's the end of this Westminster game? A Josh East quarterback sneak, no time on the clock. A shocker. The Wolverines have stunned the Titans. Final score, 43-41. Grove City beats Westminster on homecoming. We'll be right back with our WCN post-game show.
Drinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
This game was well over, and then a penalty on the celebration for Westminster set them back. Rather than taking over at around the 6-yard line, they took over right at the 1. So we're backed up in their own end zone for the next play on offense. All they had to do was run out the clock. Quarterback Cole Konichka snuck it forward, and we couldn't really see exactly what happened, but the result of the play was a fumble for Westminster, and Grove City recovered. That gave them the ball on the 1-yard line.
It was inches, Jack.
Josh East was able to sneak it in. The second game in a row that Grove City has won the game on a quarterback sneak on the very final play. Looks like Matty Keenan has more for us on the sideline coming up in a little bit with Coach Benzel, but we'll see what Matty gets later on. A heartbreaker here for the Titans.
I'm breathless, Jack. What we mentioned before the game, or before the last play and that, hindsight's great. hindsight's great. And here I sit out of it for years, and hindsight's great. But if Cole would have gotten stuff backwards but possessed the ball, it was a safety. That makes it 41-39. Punt the ball away. They've got to return. There'd certainly be no time left in that. And I don't know where Paul got the ball out to on the interception, whether he got it on the 1 or beyond that.
And Scooter, I think it's not often that you and I are speechless up here in the booth, but the end of that game, taking turns that we could have never anticipated.
Oh, never, Jack. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. What happened, but it's you play 60 minutes. We played 59 and 57 seconds.
And in those final 3 seconds, it came down to Josh East. He's our player of the game in this contest. I think before the game we would have anticipated a Wesley Schools player of the game, but Josh East with his wonderful passing attack, just hitting his receivers downfield, racked up the passing yardage, and at the end when it counted the most, he came up in the clutch. Without him, Grove City wouldn't have won this game, and they escaped with a 2-point victory over Westminster, a sour game on Westminster's homecoming, but what a performance by Josh East.
Absolutely. His throwing, and you cited it, Jack, his throws were spot on.
Take a look now at the final stats of the game. Looking at rushing attempts, Westminster actually pretty comparable with Grove City, but all of those really going to Wesley Schools for the Wolverines. Westminster kind of split them up. Same thing with rushing yardage. All of those really pretty even when you look down the line. The only thing is receiving average, and that's really, you credit that to those long fly routes run by the Grove City receivers, and East was able to hit them pretty consistently, resulting in that 26.5 receiving yardage average. But those stats don't really tell the story of the game, other than the fact that it was really close. The first half of this game was, I'd say, Scooter, pretty much run by Grove City, resulting from those Westminster turnovers. The second half, however, was a shootout, and it resulted in a high-stakes end of the game, a game with high intrigue in the final 20 seconds.
Definitely. But once again, Jack, let's go back. 2 picks in the first half were crucial, and a fumble.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this game, too, there was so much hype around the fact that, one, it's Grove City College, the closest proximity team in our conference and our current rival. Back in the day, I think, when you were probably a coach here, Scooter, the rivalry was Geneva, but I can tell you as a student that now it's Grove City. This is the team that people care about as far as the student body and the fans. So that's coming into it. You talk about the game last year against Grove City. The Wolverines shocked Westminster last year and beat the Titans, knocked them out of the PAC championship conversation. And then talking about just the fact that Westminster had that loss last week to Case Western, looking to bounce back. They couldn't do it overall.
No, the kids gave a valiant effort. There's no doubt. But anytime you play football, you have to take care of the ball. Not faulting our young men in any way, shape, or form, but you have to take care of the ball. And Grove City was able to take care of it a little bit better than Westminster. Hence the outcome.
I'd like to take this moment also to mention that the college is hosting a special memorial service tomorrow to honor and remember the late Dr. Wally Scheid, who departed this earth last November. Dr. Scheid, a 1959 alumnus of Grove City College and a master orator, influenced the lives of many students, faculty, and friends and neighbors during his 35 years at Westminster. Dr. Scheid served as a chair of the communications department and for many years coached the Westminster speech and debate team, leaving behind a case full of trophies. We hope you'll join us in celebrating his gusto for coaching, his unrivaled communication skills, his wit, and his humor, along with his vast knowledge of film and trivia, this Sunday at 1 p.m. in Westminster's Wallace Memorial Chapel. Dr. Walter Scheid was 81 years old.
Download the Titan Radio app for Apple and Androids today and listen to the best music and sports commercial-free anywhere you take your mobile phone or tablet. Also get access to news, special podcast content, and a whole lot more. Just search for Titan Radio on the Apple or Android App Store. Welcome back to Bury Stadium. Matty Keenan is on the sideline with Coach Benzel
following the 43-41 loss to Grove City here at homecoming. Maddie.
Thanks, Jack. So, Coach, coming out of the locker room, what was the game plan for the second half of the game?
Just keep fighting, just continue to do what we were doing in terms of, I thought offensively we did a pretty good job. We just turnovers, and then we kind of settled in and played a pretty good second half.
Was there any Grove City did that really surprised you?
Not really. We just didn't make enough plays. So in the end, that's why players play, coaches coach, and collectively we, they made it one more play than we did.
All right, thank you so much, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Jack.
Thank you, Maddie, and Coach Benzel summed it up pretty well. If you had to say this, summarize this game in one sentence, Grove City played one more play than Westminster. It came down to the final play, not once, but really twice. A disappointing end of this game for the Titans. They now fall to 4-2 overall on the season, 3-2 in the pack, and they'll be tied with Grove City in the pack standings because the Wolverines improved to 3-2 within the conference, 4-2 overall. The next game for the Titans will be at Teal next week. We won't have that game for you on WCN, but we will have it for you on the radio. Listen on 88.9 on the FM dial, the Titan Radio app, or TitanRadioLive.com. And still plenty of upcoming broadcasts for you the rest of this Titan football season. All home games we'll cover on WCN and Titan Radio, and every away game for the Titans is on Titan Radio as well. Final score of this game, once again, 43 for Grove City, 41 for the Titans. Westminster gets the loss on homecoming day. This broadcast is brought to you by the Broadcasting and Media Production Department at Westminster College, providing real-world experience in today's media for tomorrow's producers. Thank you all for joining us, and please join us next week on Titan Radio as Westminster takes on Teal. You're on your home of the Titans, WCN.